Hey there, everybody. So going live here. Hope you guys like the new camera setup that we got going on. Hopefully should be a little bit better quality. So let's get it started here. I'm just going to start shuffling the cards. So we have, hi, how you doing, Kiru? We've got the True Love reading cards. Then we have the, let's see, we have the Energy cards right here. I'm used to using my camera over here, so I got this one I'm using right here. And then we've got, I'm well too. I'm doing actually pretty good. Pretty good today. It's been a good day. How did your session go with your spiritual advisor? Is that what you said? Hopefully that went well. Just going to move these over. Just a second. Move these out of the way. Okay, and then let's do these ones. Awesome. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. It went well. We could all use a little spiritual advice every now and again, or spiritual counselor. That's what it was. Okay. Hey, Jenny Mall. Yeah, there's a lot of energy coming up, especially with this Mercury in retrograde. For me, luckily, it's been mostly peaceful, but it can be, it can be pretty challenging. I'm just going to move this over here. How does the camera quality look? Does it look okay? Should hopefully be a little better than it's been. Awesome. Good, good, good. All right, let's start shuffling these cards, you guys. And we're going to do the readings so we're not doing today. So thank you, Jenny, and thank you, Kiru, for helping me out there. You guys are awesome. So we're going to do, let's see, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then after that, we can do questions. We can do all that. So you guys can just, and if you have any questions about the reading, we can go into it a little bit more that way. But let's see what we get here. I'll be upgrading stuff a little bit more. I'm not sure if I can do it yet, but hopefully I can be upgrading stuff a little bit at a time, and you guys will benefit from that. Upgrading the process, the visuals, and all that. Better microphone eventually. Okay, shuffle these up. How was your day today, Jenny? All right, and then let's shuffle the True Black Tarot cards up here. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that, Jenny. Really good days are precious, so savor them. Squeeze them for all they're worth. All right. Yeah, it was a good day. It was, for a mail carrier, I can imagine that it's just beautiful out there. Just nice sunshine, you on the, I wouldn't say the open road, but you're going and you're doing your thing, and that's awesome. It was a good day. Okay, so let's get this started here. Hopefully you guys are ready to play Pick Some Piles, because that's the only game we know how to play on this channel. But we know how to play it really well, so I'm thinking that'll be good. So we're going to do, let's do Friday or Thursday first, okay? I'm going to do 2 of each card. We'll go into that. So Thursday, we've got pile 1, pile 2, then we got pile 3, okay? Then we're going to do 2 more cards on top of those ones. Well, we'll do one of each, actually. Okay. All right, you guys, pick pile 1, 2, or 3 to be read first. What are you guys feeling drawn to? Pile 1, 2, or 3? So this is pile 3. Okay. This is pile 2. And this is pile 1. Okay. Trying to hold that up for the camera. All right, so let's see here. Yeah, thank you so much, Jenny. I agree absolutely. It's 100%. You guys are being rock stars right now because you're out there every day. You're putting yourself at risk. I appreciate that, you guys. Okay, so you said 1, Kiru, and she says 2. Hello, Denise. So I'm doing right now it's just a pick a pile reading. And then I offer some live readings after we do this part. So RBY Creations, I do 1 card for $5. I do 1 card free, and then $5 for 5 minutes and $15 for 15 minutes. So that's something you're interested in, let me know, but we got to do this part first. Oh, okay, we're all doing 2. Kiru, you changed your answer to 2? Okay, everyone's saying 2? Let's do 2. All right. Let me stretch out the joints here for a minute. Okay, we're good. Pile 2. So we get, this is the distorted feminine, okay? And I'll read all these together. I'm just going to hold these cards up at first like this. The distorted feminine. By the way, the camera quality, I think, actually looks a lot better. You guys can see more of the picture here. So you have the distorted feminine. This one is sexuality. Okay. Then we have Angel of Strength. And then we have the Ace of Cups. Okay. So each one of these cards, let's read them together. Well, you don't have to, but I can understand that. I can definitely understand that. But that was nice of you. So the distorted feminine and the sexuality right here, okay? So this right here, I'm feeling Thursday could be a day where we're looking at maybe something that triggers I'd want to say a feminine wound, right? But what I mean by that is something that triggers our receptivity, something that triggers our ability to react to something in a way where we're in control. So something could have us feeling a little less than calm, I would say. Because where I see these 2 right here, I feel like it has to deal more with the energy. The sexuality is definitely about sex, right? But it's also about passion. It's about freedom. It's about expressing that. And so with these 2 cards, these other 2 cards, the reason I'm talking about emotional strength is because of this. So literally the Angel of Strength. Okay. I'm sorry if I go over this way. I'm used to this camera. So we have the Angel of Strength here, and then we have the Ace of Cups. All right, so this right here, this is absolutely a very powerful card. A lot of energy going into just letting ourselves feel the situation, right? But in order, because this isn't upside down, in order for us to feel it, we're going to have to come to terms with parts of ourselves. We're going to have to focus a little bit more on healing. So for most of us, it's not going to be a huge energetic shift, but it will be just enough that we will feel maybe a little bit more raw, maybe a little bit more vulnerable. And instead of leaning away from it, let's lean into that vulnerability and let that be our strength, at least for the day. And then from there, we can, when we give our shadow selves or our lower selves, when we give them light and we give them acknowledgement and observation, it turns out to not be that bad. When we keep looking at it or when we keep not looking at it and we keep ignoring it, it becomes this huge thing. And as soon as we start observing it, it's like a balloon that starts to deflate. So let's look at something and let's deflate our shadow balloons. All right. So, see, the next one was pile 2 or pile 1. So let's go into pile 1. And I will just put these over here. Okay. Just give me 1 second here, you guys. I'm pre-shuffling them to make it so they don't keep reappearing. But knowing you guys, they will keep reappearing because that's just how things tend to roll. Okay, so again, Thursday's energy. We're looking at pile 1. Definitely focusing more on the emotional part. So what we get here is we get the Page of Cups. Okay, again. All right, Page of Cups. Gorgeous cards. All of these are just beautiful cards. We have the Page of Cups. We have the Thinking Man. Okay. Then we get Serendipity in reverse. And we get Creativity. Okay. When I see these cards right here, I feel like, and this is going to sound like a weird thing, but I feel like tomorrow could be the day where we're thinking about being spontaneous. And that's not necessarily something you think about. You just do it, right? And when I see these cards, I feel like we could turn lemons into lemonade, so to speak. It could be a day that could be a little bit harder for us emotionally to deal with, but I feel like we have this. We have the Page of Cups. I feel like we'll be challenged a little bit, but I feel like we'll be able to handle it. But I feel as if this energy can be something we can use to actually be more creative in the long run. Where I see serendipity in reverse and then I see creativity, I feel like we're turning a possible painful memory or a possible painful moment into something where we can actually roll with that and turn it into something else. Maybe we use it to draw or dance or sing, or we use this energy to do something. Because if something triggers anger in us, that can actually be a good emotion for us to work through something. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Denise. And you have these too, right? You said you have these? The True Black Tarot? But that's something that I feel like we will need to be focusing on. It's not necessarily about the thought in my mind was getting there first, but it's not about that. It's not about doing it the best we can or getting there first or anything like that. Tomorrow will be a day that I feel like we're going to be focusing on possibly turning pain or turning emotional turmoil into a strength, right? So again, it's about leaning into that vulnerability that we were talking about. So absolutely, tomorrow could be a little bit of a vulnerable day. Let yourself be vulnerable. Don't try and hide it. Don't try and mask it, right? Okay, so let me put that one here. Put this one right there. And let me do this here. Like that happens. That in itself is very serendipity. However, it's not in reverse. Okay, so we have the 10 of Swords. Okay, let the camera focus. We have the 10 of Swords in reverse. Angel of Love in reverse. This is what it looks like upright. Then we have Boundaries. Okay, that's in reverse. And then we have Love. Okay, so this is interesting, right? So we have Love, we have Boundaries, then we have Angel of Love right here. And then we have the 10 of Swords in reverse. So this to me is going to be a day where I'm getting, for some of us, it's going to be just a little bit unpleasant, especially where I'm seeing boundaries are upright. I feel like we're being strong. Oh, hopefully it's just on your end. Hopefully everything's okay, Kiru. But so the boundaries, right? This is something where we're focusing more on, we're actually establishing our boundaries. We're actually saying we're being more firm in our sense of self-love and our sense of like letting ourselves be strong. We're letting ourselves be strong and we're not apologizing for it anymore. But when I see love in reverse, possibly people won't respond to that in a positive way. It could feel like, yes. And the True Black Tarot is, I can talk about it all the time. But where I see, so we have love and then we have Angel of Love in reverse, okay? So these two cards right here, this is definitely about letting ourselves feel that receptive energy and not trying to challenge it. Not trying to feel like we know best, especially in this situation. I feel like there's a sense of like, if I'm controlling things in my life, then I'm the one leading my life and I'm guiding my life. And we're not. At best, we're observers, and at worst, we're people that are kind of being tossed around on the wind. I mean, honestly, I think all we're doing is observing, and we're learning lessons through the observations. We can sort of guide ourselves down which way of life we want to go, but I think ultimately it's kind of like buckle in and buckle up kind of a mentality because we're going for a ride. I don't think we have much of a say in it. At the end of the day, the lessons we're supposed to learn, no matter how well we prepared, we're still going to have to learn those lessons, right? Okay, so we have this right here. This is the Ten of Swords, and this is the card I wanted to come back to. So I feel like we're on the verge of a breakthrough, a mental breakthrough. We're not quite there. The Ten of Swords upright is a card where it's kind of like the struggle's over because you see this beautiful bird. I think it's just a pigeon. I'm not really sure, or a dove. We see this beautiful bird on top of these swords. There's other birds in the background that are being kind of impaled through, but there's one bird there and there's light shining on it. When this is in reverse, I feel like we're still holding on to old ways of being. Okay, so this is Thursday. We're still holding on to old ways of being. We're not letting things happen to us. We're holding on very, very tightly, and we're hoping that things turn out the way we want. And that's going to be hurting us because we have a say in some of what our life is, but in a big portion of it, we just have no idea. We don't know what's going to happen day to day. And the best thing to do is to be adaptable and kind of roll with it. So that's what I'm seeing so that's Thursday. Let's go to Friday. So let's shuffle up these cards, guys. And let's do that. And let's go into this. And if you guys want to tip a little bit, you can. You don't have to. You guys can tip a little. I'm going to set that up in the future to be a lot nicer, the tips and stuff like that. But again, you guys don't have to. Okay. So let me shuffle these and then we'll move right into Friday. I got a demonstration, or it's kind of like the power of spirit, kind of a circle I'm doing. It's a physical class. I'm going to go out on Sunday and do it. That's the first time I've done that before, so wish me luck. That will be a journey, I'm sure. Okay. Let's see. But yeah. Yep. It is, Kiru. It's wonderful. I'm a little nervous. I'm sure I'll do fine, but the nerves, you know. It's about 5 people, so it's nothing too crazy, you know. If this one goes well, it'll be 10 people, and we'll be doing that more. We'll be doing more of these every 2 weeks. Yeah. But about every 2 weeks, I'll be demonstrating the power of spirit. And still trying to understand the class structure. I'll have to work through what that would look like, but eventually the goal is to travel around the country and then around the world and teach classes and do demonstrations and that kind of stuff. But got to start somewhere, right? So yeah, it'll be fun. Okay. And thank you guys for being supportive, just for being there and helping out. And just, again, kind words. I appreciate that so much. Let's do this here. Just plugging in my laptop here so it doesn't die. If I can find it. Let's see here. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so yeah, let's move into this. So this is Friday. We're going to do the pick a pile again. So this time I'm going to do 2 energy cards. Okay. Hey, CJ. How you doing? So we got pile 1, we got pile 2, and we got pile 3. All right, and then we'll do 1 love card for each one. Then we'll do 1 True Black Tarot card. All right, you guys. Piles 1, 2, and 3, you guys go for it. This is for Friday. So what pile do you guys feel drawn to? Piles 1, 2, and 3. Three for CJ. Okay, so we got 3. I'm thinking that's the... Hold on. Okay. Okay, so 3, and Denise is wondering possibly if it's the right choice. We'll see. We'll see. All right, so 3, 3, and 1. So let's do 3. So 1, 2, 3. So here are these cards right here. So we have this one. Let's have it focus here. Okay, so this is the 6 of Wands. All right, so 6 of Wands. This is actually a pretty good card to have. So again, Friday we're starting off with the 6 of Wands. We have self-respect in reverse. Then we have the yin yang. Then we have the World card in reverse. So, and this is interesting here. So we have this and this. They're sort of similar. I mean, they're both kind of circles. They both have a sort of similar energy to me. But here's what we're going to be looking at. So I see us coming to terms and having victory over something. So when I see the World in reverse and I see self-respect in reverse, I see us going into a situation where we could be feeling like our energy is put into a state of maybe fight or flight. And I feel like we're going to choose to stand our ground. Okay. It could be something small. A lot of the times when we're doing these readings, it could be something very mundane, but there's still a lesson to be learned from it. And so what I see here is someone standing up for something, someone doing something maybe a little bit out of character, someone doing something nice, even though other people might look at them funny or weird, but something where we're putting ourselves into a position where, again, we're a little bit more vulnerable, but for the purpose of helping another person or for helping ourselves to see something. We're no longer going to be self-sabotaging anymore. The reason I see self-respect in reverse, right? But then I see this card. So to me, this is having, this is conquering this situation. These 2 cards were drawn together. So we're conquering a situation where I feel like we're not sabotaging ourselves anymore. Okay. So that's a really good thing. When I see yin yang, we could be working with an energy that is, it feels like an opposite kind of energy. So it feels like an energy that doesn't have a necessary, okay, let me put it this way. If life is a pendulum, right? We're on either the left side or the right side. And the pendulum goes back and forth and back and forth. If we get off the pendulum and we just look at it for what it is, and we see it swinging back and forth, then we're no longer in the game. We're looking out at what it actually is. And the yin yang symbol upright like this is us looking at life for what it truly is. And Spirit's here too. So that's something I'm feeling. Spirit's feeling that one too. So definitely focus on letting yourself see it for what it is. Look at it as a series of lessons. If not today, not tomorrow, if Friday seems a little bit more, not necessarily challenging, but if it just seems like it's a little bit off, take yourself off of the pendulum of going left and right and allow yourself to just observe what's happening without putting your own personal bias on it. Easier said than done, but once you get into that mind frame and you're doing it more frequently, it gets easier. As I've said before, you have the, you guys know what the default mode network is? Have you guys ever heard of that? It's a term used to describe how the brain kind of operates. The default mode network is where the brain kind of over time, it has a tendency to do something. And then once it's done something over and over again, it will keep doing that same thing, and it's hard for us to change. So the best way to describe this is everyone's brain when we start out. It's kind of like a fresh, there was some fresh snow, and there's no tracks in the snow, and we're going to sled down this hill, right? So imagine if there's snow, but there's tracks in the snow. Whenever you take a sled down this path, there's already a path that's kind of predetermined. That's the default mode network. Our brain makes a path to the bottom of the hill, and every sled that we put into those tracks will now follow that same path. When we start thinking differently, that's why it feels weird at first, and that's why it's hard for us to think differently. But eventually we can form new neural connections, and we can have that get stronger. And that happens with, that's neuroplasticity, that's being able to learn new things. And in time, that can become something where we can think better and better things. But we have to challenge ourselves into being that way, okay? So the last card was the world in reverse. And to me, when we take self-respect in reverse and the world in reverse, we're looking at going into this world, going into the world we're in now. And we're focusing more on allowing ourselves to just be in it. I feel like there's a lot of pressure to be perfect in this world. And I feel like if you're genuine and you're kind and you're putting yourself out there, that's good enough. You don't have to do anything else. And so that's what I'm seeing. Just stand your ground, have it be a good kind of strong sense of self that we're in, right? All right, so let me put these back here. I go off on tangents sometimes, guys, but there's a reason for most of them. All right. Let's put these ones back. Here we go, and put that one right there. Okay. So 3 was the next one. Or 3 was the first one we did, so let's do 1. So we have this one here. Sorry. 4th chakra, Archangel Raphael. Okay. Indecision in reverse, which in itself, we'll go into that. Again, serendipity. This time it's upright. And we have the Magician in reverse. Let's have it focus. As long as my face is in the frame, I got to remember that. The way the camera auto-focuses is when my face is covered up. Because if I go like this, it blurs it. Okay, I will remember that. All right, so we have... Let's talk about this one first. So indecision in reverse. So when I see indecision in reverse, you see this person, right? And they're at this path. You see them looking at the path. They can go left or they can go right. Or they can stay there. Or they can go down the middle. Or, there's other options besides going left or right. So indecision in reverse is we're at a place where we're refusing to make a decision, but we don't necessarily want to just stand still. That to me is indecision in reverse. It's like an antsy feeling in the body where we want to do something. We don't know what it is. We want to do it, but we don't know. Anyway. So we have the 4th chakra, Archangel Raphael. This to me, actually this card with serendipity and the Magician in reverse, we're making our own path forward. Okay. The only thing that's going to block us from making our path forward is if we think we can't do it. That's the only thing. That's the self-sabotage. That's the only thing that's going to be stopping us. So if that's the case, then we're actually in full control of it. If we allow ourselves to be caught up in the self-doubt, that's what it'll be. It'll be the path of self-doubt. But if we allow ourselves to be strong on the path and kind of fake it till we make it, then that's where the strength lies. Okay? And it's going to be a healing thing. This is actually a pretty big lesson where I see the fourth chakra, right? The heart card. And then I see serendipity right here. Those are very powerful cards. So let ourselves just experience it. Don't try to control it. And also just have yourself be in a state of, if we're in a place where we're waiting for things to happen and they're not happening, distract yourself if you need to. Do something else. Don't sit there and beat a dead horse. Hate that expression. But yeah. Okay. By the way, Denise, how are you feeling? How's your ear feeling and how's your cold? All right, so this is pile 2. So we have the Hanged Man. Okay, I'll cover up my face. I'll move it up a little bit closer. The Hanged Man right there. Then we have, again, the Distorted Feminine. Okay. Storm Warning. And 6th Chakra Archangel Metatron. There's kind of a lot going on in this card. So when we're looking at these cards here, so if I was to read this as a general reading, and I'm not going to, but if I was reading it more generally, it's going to be that there could be a sense of illusion about something coming to pass. Where I see the Distorted Feminine, something's blocking our psychic vision. Okay, so now let me read it in a spiritual way. Something's blocking our psychic vision. There's a storm warning. There's signs clearly in front of us of things we should and shouldn't do, and we need to pick the right path. The Hanged Man is about seeing things from a new perspective. So it's something that's been challenging us for the past little while. If we just allow ourselves to hang, to look at it differently, to shift our perspective, we can possibly avoid the storm warning. Okay? So the 6th Chakra Archangel Metatron is a psychic card, right? This is about the psychic, the third eye. And, oh, you're good. You're good, Denise, but thank you for telling me. And then with the Distorted Feminine. So again, something blocking that receptive kind of vision for us. Something blocking that I always have a hard time with that word. Reciprocal kind of energy, where what we give out, we get back. Something's interrupting that. Something's throwing us off our game, and we think that giving it out, we get nothing in return. And some of us in our lives have set that up for ourselves. And that's where boundaries come in, so that we give and then we get something in return. We get something back, because there's nothing wrong with give and take, but there is something wrong with give, right? Or take. So, okay. Let's move into this here. Okay, so now we're on to, let's do Saturday. Okay. Let me shuffle these. Okay. Let's do a couple more shuffles. more shuffles here. And guys, if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. It means a lot. If you guys can't donate or tip, liking and subscribing would mean so much to me. It just helps the channel grow, so I would really appreciate it. But either way is good, so. Okay. We are good, so let's go into this here. You'll be allowed to ask here in probably the next 15 minutes or so. I'm doing the day readings, and right now I'm on Saturday, then I'm going to do Sunday, and then you guys can ask questions. Okay. So like this. You are welcome, Liz. Hope you're having a good day. Okay. All right, you guys, pile 1, 2, or 3 for Saturday. I am, Liz. I'm having a good day. Things are good. Things are good. 2 for Denise. Alrighty, we can read pile 2 first. 2 for Liz. Okay. 2 it is. So we have Door to Romance in reverse. First Chakra, Archangel Michael in reverse. Spiritual Maturity, upright. And the King of Coins in reverse. So when I see these cards right here, I feel like there could be someone in our lives that's a little more controlling with us, but we're taking the high road. The person could possibly be an earth sign, okay? So this is for, like I said, this is for Saturday. The person could be an earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, but I see spiritual maturity. I feel like we're not necessarily falling for it anymore, so we're doing really good that way. But these 2 cards right here, I'm getting a sense of maybe feeling guilty about, it could be feeling guilty about sex. It could be feeling guilty about something to do in the bedroom, or it could just be that we're wanting to take a little bit of time for ourselves and our partner or significant other, or possibly even other people in our lives that we're not romantically involved with are just kind of interrupting our flow. They're just sort of stepping in and they're doing something. We're handling it well though, okay? Spiritual maturity, we're handling it well. But again, that's what I am seeing for Saturday. So that is one of the readings there. So let me put these back here. And then I'll do these other piles here. Okay, so we got pile 1 and 3 left. What are you guys thinking? Oh, I'm so thirsty. We can just go to 3. Let's do 3. I want to involve you guys as much as I can. That's why I'm asking. So again, these cards are coming up. World in reverse. Indecision, this time it's upright. So we're in the process of making a decision, but we haven't quite gotten there. Dating. Okay. And then the Ace of Cups. So these cards right here, we could be looking at a new love prospect coming in. I feel like it could be an older partner trying to come back. There could be something there for sure. But it could also be just us looking for something to do with, I feel like there's something to do with possibly, it could be finding a house, or it could be finding something that it feels like it could be more physical for some reason. But definitely there could be someone coming into our lives that we haven't met before, but it could also be someone that we know quite well. And maybe they're wanting to get involved with us and we're not wanting to, but they're kind of wearing us down. People are good at doing that. And then we kind of get involved in a situation maybe we wouldn't want to get involved in. Because where I see this being involved, the Ace of Cups, is we're getting ready. We're wanting to open our hearts up again. But I do feel like something could be happening here. So listen to what's going on with you, and don't be blinded by something that could easily be avoided. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing there. All right, so let me do this. Put these back. Taking these cards and putting them in different spots. I don't get thirsty, but there's a few ways connecting with me. Sometimes my eyes will water, which sounds a lot like crying, but I'll just have it where, and some people have had it too, where their eyes just start tearing up and you'll actually start crying. And I'll have that. Occasionally, there's one medium that when they connect, and this is something Spirit does, is they'll have you burp, which is really weird, right? But it's to help you release energy, like to release stuff. So you'll burp to release energy, or yawning. I yawn a lot when I'm connecting sometimes. It's like I'm going to yawn now, but just because it can be kind of exhausting. But yeah, thirst is definitely one of them, or feeling really hungry after. But I personally don't feel thirsty, but I've heard of that. But let's move on here. Okay, so we have the Angel of Strength. Okay, Angel of Strength in reverse. It is pretty cool. It's connecting with Spirit. When it's a tangible connection, you can actually feel it. It is incredible. Carrying connections, compatibility, and then we have the Eight of Cups in reverse. This is a really pretty card to look at, I think. Just the way that looks, that's really cool. So this right here, I do feel like someone could be coming back from the past. This day right here, it feels like much more of a love day to me. So Angel of Strength in reverse, carrying connections and compatibility. Maybe we're feeling like we can finally let our guard down and an emotional connection. Because where I see this in reverse, it doesn't want to be in reverse, but I feel like we're letting our guard down and we're going to let whatever happens happen, right? Because we're tired of being on guard all the time. So I would say listen to your heart primarily in this connection, because all of the cards have kind of been leading to a bigger reading. So listen to your heart. If there is an earth sign coming in, you don't feel right with it, discard that. There could be something else coming in. There could be a stronger kind of energy coming in where you're more compatible and you don't necessarily get a sense of feeling drained. If we're feeling drained in a connection or in a possible connection, that person's not for us. We need to find someone who fulfills us and helps us in those ways. We shouldn't feel exhausted to be in their presence. Okay, so let's move on to Sunday, and then we can take questions. Okay. Let me shuffle these ones here. Yeah, Spirit, Denise, Spirit will connect however we feel. I mean, we can connect with them in so many different ways, but depending on how deep the connection is and depending on how overwhelming the spirit's presence can be when we first start out, we can have different kinds of feelings, right? Like for me, feeling dizzy or that crying that I was talking about. The crying doesn't really happen as much anymore, but I've gotten used to, or I guess acclimated to spirit's presence. And if you're feeling unwanted side effects of connection, you can ask them to step back. That doesn't hinder the connection. That actually helps you. They're usually connecting with you the first time you're connecting with them in that kind of sense. They're not these all omniscient beings, right? They're learning too. And if you say, hey, that's too much, you're actually helping them in establishing how to work with you in the future, right? So remember that. But that's just the way spirit likes to communicate and how they operate. Remember, words. What do you do with words? You spell words. Words have spells. Words are power. And how we interact with those words, how we say them, and how we set up our boundaries, especially with spirit. They will listen. Be precise. Be precise. Okay. One more shuffle. Okay, let's move on to these ones. And this is for Sunday, the 28th. Would any of you guys be interested in doing the online classes that I've talked about? Besides Denise, because I know she's going to be the first one to shoot her hand up. All right. Sunday fun day, right, guys? Let's see what we get. So let's mix it up a little bit. Let's do 2 True Black Tarot cards. So Liz, I'm going to be teaching psychic connection, mediumship connection as well. But we'd probably start with psychic connection, and then we would go into mediumistic connection. So how to connect psychically, what that means, the steps to do it, kind of going from a novice to someone who can connect. Basically training your clair abilities and doing that kind of stuff. Oh, okay. Awesome. What are you looking for in particular? Psychic, mediumistic? Are you wanting to do tarot? Are you wanting to do, like, in particular, what kind of course have you been looking for? I haven't offered it yet. I'm trying to gauge interest. I'm trying to see who would want to take the class because I don't want enough people seem to be interested, but I don't want to have I want to be teaching more students. I want to have more people sign up so that I can pair you guys up and you can work with different people. Because if you're in my class, I want you to work with several different people. I don't want you to get paired up with the same person and have to keep reading for them. It's going to help you guys with confidence. Okay, good. Okay, so that's something we can talk about too. That's something, I think that's under the category of seership. Awesome, Denise. Awesome. And yeah, connecting with spirit, you'll get the buzzing sometimes. Once we've learned to work with spirit, that starts to fade away. To me, anyway, the super, super strong feeling, it can actually be a little bit distracting, and that will start to fade away because we've become more confident in our abilities. It's kind of like if you're in... Okay, yep, and we would talk about that too, how to set energetic boundaries and how to do all that. That's one of the first things I would teach in the psychic class is how to set yourself up to not... The way I talk about it, Liz, is a person's energy is, well, it's their energy, right? But if you imagine that a person's energy is like a puddle of water, and it's a nasty puddle of water, it's a different kind of puddle of water. An empath is a sponge, and an empath will take and they'll suck up all that water. They don't care if it's dirty. They don't care because they haven't learned how to distinguish. They haven't learned how to do that yet. So we would definitely work on making it so you're not a sponge anymore, and so that we can go into something where you're feeling energy the way you want to feel it, instead of feeling other people's energy or expressing other people's pain through your own body, right? Other people's mental pain, other people's physical pain through your own body. Okay, so moving into this, guys, pile 1, 2, or 3. And then we can talk more about the class here in a minute. But if I got Liz, I got Denise, I've got some other people that I can teach physically, but for the online part, I'm going to need, I would want at least 8 more people. Because then I can pair you guys up, and then I teach each person depending on their ability and where they're coming from. Okay, Denise says 2. I don't do a one-size-fits-all kind of a thing. We focus on where your abilities are, and then we hone in on that, and we make those stronger. Okay. Awesome, Liz. I'm glad you're interested. I've got slides. I've got things ready to go. Those are more on mediumship, though. So for psychic and for that, I'll need a little bit more time to get stuff set up. Are you interested in energy healing too? Are you interested in? I'm actually thinking of having several classes, several different kinds of classes. So anyway, 2. Let's do 2. Okay, so this is for Sunday. So Sunday, we have the Ace of Swords. Okay. Awesome. We would teach that for you too. My wrist started to hurt right when you said yes. So I'm feeling like you definitely have some energy healing in you. I feel like that's something you do probably on some level subconsciously or unconsciously, but definitely the healing energy, you've got that. You definitely have that. Okay, so we have Ace of Swords. Okay. Then we have the Hierophant, which is my card, right? The Taurus. Hierophant is Taurus. So we'll talk about that. We have a man holding a heart in reverse. And then we have self-respect. So this is really, so Sunday, right? It's interesting we get the Hierophant on Sunday. Hierophant can be viewed as kind of almost kind of like a religious leader in some aspects, but it's more about traditionalism. To me, I view that as more of a religious thing. It means, Liz, that you're able to express people's pain that they've experienced through your own body, but you don't have to, right? It means that you're someone who's very sensitive to energy, and you need to learn how to express it and how to control it so that it's not the other way around. And I can help you with that, again, when the classes become available. So we have self-respect here. Then we have man holding a heart. This time, self-respect, we have this upright. We have man holding a heart in reverse. To me, this is realizing that we have everything we need in order for us to succeed in this world. We're going to be challenging things a little bit differently, okay? And I could teach you that too, Denise. You have to work on atmosphere with spirit. You have to work on establishing a sense of atmosphere, and you have to work with spirit. In order for us to get information when we want, we have to work when we feel like there's no spirits around, we have to work on what that feels like for us. We have to understand how our energy is, what that feels like, and then we have to understand what another person's energy is or what a spirit's energy is. And then we can get information from that. But it is about trusting the process too. Because random mediumship, random psychic information, generally to me, sometimes it feels invasive because it's like, what do I do with it? What do I do with random information? There's not a lot you can do. So, and you sure as hell, sitting in the power, yes, sitting in the power, but you sure as hell do not go up to someone and start telling them what you're getting. That's called an attack reading. Unless someone asks for a reading from you, you do not tell them anything, right? That's their choice. If you say, I have something I want to tell you, and the person's open to it, then I feel like that's okay. But if you just went up to them and started saying, hey, did your father pass? Did this happen? Did that happen? That could actually hurt someone, especially in the spiritual community. They could look at the psychic world like, I never want to be involved with anything to do with spirituality because I was attacked. Anyway, sorry. I have strong feelings about that. So, but yeah, sitting in the power for sure. Okay, so Hierophant. And then we have this card here, which is more about, this card here is more about kind of the phallic symbol, the sword, right? So that's more of a male energy thing. And this right here, man holding a heart in reverse, we're realizing we have all the power. I do. I'm live on Sundays at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and then Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And if you guys want, we can, if it's just you and Liz at first, if that's something you're interested in, I could set something up. If that's something you guys are wanting to try, we could set something up that way. Okay, well, I'll look into setting some stuff up. I'll have to move some stuff around, but we can definitely set up class. If you guys are really interested in learning, I just need to know your level that you're at. So we'll go from there, and we can take you guys from, okay, Sunday, 5 p.m. I'm back on live. We can discuss it a little bit more there. My website's also linked down below. You can look on there. My classes, because I haven't done them yet, they're not listed on there. But you can look at my email address on there too. So thank you very much, Liz, for stopping by, and have an awesome evening. And hopefully I see you on Sunday too. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So focus on having our energy up and letting ourselves break free from a traditional stance. Okay. New ways of thinking. Oh, thank you for subscribing. Awesome. Yeah, so new energy this way, challenging the norm. Man holding a heart in reverse, definitely challenging the norm and having more self-respect. So moving forward in a way where we're letting ourselves just take the reins. Instead of listening to what other people have to say about how we should feel, we're doing that. Leah J, you absolutely can. I'm almost done with this reading. When I'm done, then we can do that. I'm almost done with Sunday, and then we can go straight into that. Does that work for you? Brooklyn Ginger, yeah, we could do a question for you too. I feel like you've been on here before. Okay, awesome. Okay, so let me do this here. Okay, guys, pile 1 or 3, because we did 2, I'm pretty sure. This is for Sunday. Pile 1 or 3. 1 for Brooklyn Ginger. Okay. All right. Okay, this is interesting. This is kind of almost the exact same thing we got in the last reading. We were talking about willpower and all that. So you guys know I'm going to talk about the third chakra. I mean, I've got to cover my face and move forward with this so you guys can see it. So the third chakra, Archangel Shamul, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but this is the solar plexus chakra. This is willpower. This is the fire chakra. Then we have the 8 of Wands, which this one is quick moving energy. Okay, so lots of fire energy, lots of just pushing it out, getting it done kind of energy. It's very strong will kind of energy. But then we have the sacred woman in reverse, and we have the devil in reverse. So when I see this, and again, beautiful cards, gotta show you. So this is it upright. I just love these cards. They're awesome. But again, when this is in reverse, This could be that I feel like we're blind to the fact that something's happening. Or we could be controlled by vices. So we could actually be charging into a situation a little recklessly. Maybe we feel like our way is the only way going forward. And I feel like that damages our sense of self because we're kind of imposing our will on other people. This could be the other way around too. But the way I see it is we're feeling strong, we're feeling confident, we're just going to go for it. And I think some of us will squish some toes on the way and will kind of maybe hurt ourselves or the other person in the process. So keep in mind that the sacred woman, okay, keep in mind the ability to divinely listen and hear what's going on. Take forward the energy of the masculine, but don't let it control you too much. Still sit, still listen, still have yourself be in a place of being able to hear what's going on, right? Okay. So lots of fire energy for Sunday. So, and if you guys want, again, focus on the sun, focus on the solar plexus for Sunday, because that's going to give us a sense of power. All right. We're on to the last group of cards here. And Leah J, if you want to do the super chat, you can, because right after this, I can get straight into your question. Okay. Oh, my throat is feeling funny. Feeling a little dizzy too. Is anyone having something going on with their throat? I mean, I know, Denise, you're recovering, but my throat's feeling a little, yeah. Okay, so we have this sexual freedom, healer of the ages, queen of coins, okay. All right, thank you so much for the donation. We will look into that. And then we have the 7 of Cups, okay. So these cards right here, we're looking. Sunday always seems to be more of a healing day and more of a resting day. This one, though, is letting ourselves step into a space, more of a sacred space, right? And allowing ourselves to feel the flow of energy, possibly between you and a partner, or just between you and life and the universe, right? Because again, sexual freedom doesn't mean sex necessarily. It means being vulnerable, allowing yourself to be, to me, it's being vulnerable. It's being creatively exposed. It's allowing yourself to fully be vulnerable instead of holding something back. Healer of the Ages comes in to show that we're very close to coming to the root of something. The 7 of Cups shows that there's several directions that the healing can go. So we're still learning. The Queen of Coins shows us that it could possibly be a slower process, but that we're doing it. None of these cards are in reverse. So it's like, I feel like we're setting time aside for ourselves to just heal. So that's what I'm getting, you guys. So Sunday is more of a healing day. All right. So Leah J, what are CM's intentions / feelings for me? Okay. Let's see what we get here. And thanks again, Leah, for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Helps out. A ton. Okay. Just getting all these cards shuffled here. Okay, so I'll use the True Love Tarot. So we'll look at intentions. We'll look at feelings. And we will look at, well, kind of an overall energy here. Okay. My head started to feel like it was expanding there for a second. Now my wrist is hurting. Have you been with this person before, Leah? The reason I ask, I get 7 of Cups in reverse, and this feels like a situation that I've been in before. Or a similar situation. If it's not the same exact one, it feels like a similar situation that I've experienced before, because I get woman holding a heart, and then I get spiritual maturity. We dated before. Okay. So when I see woman holding a heart and the spiritual maturity, but then I get this. I get the 7 of Cups in reverse. So that feels like lack of choice. Did you go back to this person, or did they come back to you? Or are you just kind of thinking about it? Not going back to, but are you thinking about going back? Or I'm curious if they popped up or you kind of checked in on how that happened. They came back to you. Okay. Are you more of the, because what I'm seeing here is you're more of the nurturing type. Did this person leave before? Are either you or them a Capricorn, or have Capricorn somewhere in the sign? Because I heard Capricorn, or I felt Capricorn. Doesn't necessarily have to be true, but that was something I was feeling was more of a Capricorn energy. He ghosted you and came back. Okay. Okay. See, that's what I'm getting here, because I see spiritual maturity. I see the woman holding the heart. I feel like you're a stronger individual, right? But this is throwing you for a loop. Hence why we get the 7 of Cups in reverse. Okay, that makes sense. Because now I'm getting nervous. I'm expressing his energy. I'm not actually, well, I'm probably nervous all the time, but no, I'm expressing his energy. I'm getting nervous. Feeling kind of squirrely would be the way I would describe it. And now my heart's feeling. So you said he was acting out of character or acting strange. Okay. Let's draw one more card here. Trying to think what I should use. Let's do Energy Oracle. Okay, so I get the Door to Spirit card coming up. Okay, so this is something that I'm just going to say this. I feel like you've been going through a spiritual transformation. When I see spiritual maturity, I see the Door to Spirit. Have you been doing something where maybe we're looking at the shadow self, or we're trying to heal something from the past? Kind of cleaning out the, how would you put it? Kind of doing an emotional spring cleaning of sorts. Have you been doing anything with that? Focusing on healing? Okay. Okay. And then I feel like you're focusing on healing. You're in a better place, and then this person comes back. Is that correct? Okay. So because I've spent a little while talking about this, $3 is good, right? If we want to go deeper, we can do that. You can look at my website, but I'll tell you the initial impression I'm getting is that this person is still feeling indecisive, even though they're coming back. I get a feeling of indecisiveness with this person. If you want to look deeper, we can. You can do a little bit more on the super chat, or you can go to my website and book a reading that way. But that's definitely what I'm getting. Take with that what you will, but it's definitely, there's some indecisiveness here. Nervousness, indecisiveness. If you wanted to do another, because you did that much, if you wanted to do another, let's say like $14.99 or $12.99, $14.99, that would work. We can dive a little bit more into that. You definitely feel like the person that's in charge of the situation. You're nervous right now. Okay, you're nervous. Okay. So I was picking up on nerves, but to me, honestly, without you even putting up any more money, I get a sense of indecisiveness from this person. From the cards, but also from the fact that I feel very squirrel-brained in this person's energy. Kind of like I start something and then I move over here and then I do this. And, there's a thing where squirrels lose as many acorns as they plant, like they put down in different places. The reason why the forest is filled with acorn trees is because squirrels forget where, a good portion of their acorns are buried. And I'm feeling like an energy where I'm dashing around with this kind of energy. I start something, I move on, I do this, that kind of energy. So, but yeah, that's what I'm getting. But okay, so moving on here, we can go into you're welcome. Hello, Denise. Hopefully that helped give you a little bit of insight. Like I said, you want to do a little bit more, we can. A little bit more of a donation, or you can go to my website and do it that way. But thank you so much for doing even that part. So I just appreciate that. So any other questions? The only other thing I'll say, Leah, if you're still there, is, in my personal opinion, don't do something if the person's making you feel manipulated or like you should do something, then seriously look at not doing the thing that manipulative person could want you to do, especially if they ghosted you or they made you feel less than in any way. My 2 cents. Okay. Okay, any other questions, guys? And you guys like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. That would mean a lot to me. Hey, ZMO. I didn't do a sign. I was doing a personal reading for Leah J. And so if you want to do a general reading just for you, Denise, you can do $5, or you can do 15 for a 15-minute long general reading. But just a general reading, I can draw one card, but yeah, the general reading, I can draw one energy card for you, Denise. Do you have a question, ZMO? Oh, okay. Hold on. Well, my link is in the description. You should be able to find it. I have a PayPal link in that description, but I can put it up again. And you guys can feel free to do tips or subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Let me do that. Sorry, you guys, give me a second here. Gotta find the link. Okay. That is not quite what I thought it would be. Oh, thank you. Okay, I might need to fix that then. I'll probably have to go into the general description and look. Thank you for telling me, though. I appreciate you looking into that. Okay, thank you. Let me see here. Sorry, you guys. Just give me a second. Nice. Okay, from Denise on YouTube. Thank you so much. Okay, so what do you want to do, Denise? Moving forward here. Because we can do it let's do it this way. You said you wanted a general reading, right? Something a little more general. So let me shuffle these cards. Oh. Are any psychic impressions welcome too? Or are we just doing cards? That's absolutely fine, Denise. I get impressions too through my body as a psychic. So I get, if I get something psychic, I express it. I let you know if I'm feeling something or if I feel, okay, yeah, that's something I do. So I don't know how to word a lot of the stuff in the spiritual community. I've thought about that. Other Denise. It's funny that there's two Denises. I don't know why. Yeah, that just gets to me for some reason. Anyway, I've thought about teaching tarot. Would you guys want to learn through me about tarot? I feel like that's something that I could teach, possibly. Different archetypes and all that. And it sounds like Denise E is definitely interested. That one might be more, I don't know if that would be a series of YouTube videos that were private, and then I could have them linked to the site and have like good production. Yeah, two Denises are definitely better than one. That's a good way to be. Yeah, that's a good way to be, Denise, is always be open to another person's expression. Okay, let me shuffle. Let me move in here. Okay. I'm trying to see what I feel energetically. And for I'll just call you the pink Denise. Because it looks like there's a lot of pink. Oh, okay. All right, Brooklyn, I will. Look here. Okay, so I'm going to read Pink Denise first. Sounds... Okay, Pink Denise first, and then I'm going to read Brooklyn. And thank you again for the donations, you guys. You guys are awesome. This is great. I love this. Okay. More shuffle here. Yeah, so for you, Denise, there is a sense of excitement, a lot of excitement. It's almost like Christmas Day excitement. So this is interesting. I'm going to go with this energy moving forward, but I feel like some good energy is coming. And I'm not just saying that because you paid. I do not sugarcoat. You can ask people. I tell it how it is. Hey, Bernard. Okay. Now we're going to move into this. Yes, it does. I feel excited, but I almost feel overstimulated by this energy. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll tell you how it is. Okay, so let's do this. Oh, okay. All right, so what I'm getting first, and a general reading. Words that come to mind is trial by fire. So when we're looking at those words, trial by fire, we get this card, the devil, okay? This is upright. I had it reversed in the other one, but I'll show you an up-close picture here. So the devil card it can be a Capricorn individual, but it's generally a card where we're blinded to what's kind of in front of us. Maybe we have vices, we have distractions. I also have this card, though. I get the Four of Swords. Feel like we're taking a break from something. And the reason, let me cover my face so you can see. The reason we're taking a break is because of this card, okay? The Three of Swords. So there's a lot of energy here, and it's a lot of mental energy. It's a lot of ways of seeing something, possibly feeling stuck in something, but also feeling a sense of possibly wanting to break free from. It could be a way of thinking, or it could be maybe getting off of something, maybe kicking an addictive habit, or trying to change something fairly drastic in your life. I feel like this could take some energy. I'm feeling excited, but I do feel like there's some changes that need to happen. Okay, so that's definitely what we're getting here. There's a lot of energy in you specifically because my heart wants to express. My heart wants to express, and it wants to keep expressing. The only way that I can describe it is I feel incredibly frustrated. I feel kind of happy but agitated at the same time because I feel like I need to do more. Okay. Oh, so is that making sense so far? Pink Denise. We're definitely going to draw more cards here, but I'm just seeing if what I'm putting down you're picking up. Yeah. Okay. See what else we get here. So we've got. Okay. So we have this. We have Goddess of the Moon in reverse. Okay. Then we have Blossoming Abundance in reverse. These two cards right here, definitely we're focusing on, there's a lot of information coming in. Okay, I'm just going to say it how I'm getting it. We're focusing on a lot of subconscious information coming in. We're focusing on healing. We're focusing on letting ourselves be where we are now. That's the hardest part, is letting ourselves be where we are now and feeling grateful for the expression of allowing ourselves to be where we are now. When I see these in reverse, though, we're focusing on kind of a grass is greener on the other side, yet there's a lesson that's right in front of us and we're not taking it for what it is, okay? There's a sense of psychic expression here that could possibly be being blocked by a feeling of there's not enough. When I say psychic expression, it could be creative, it could be mental. It's just, to me, there's a sense of psychic something that's being cut off. I feel like my heart wants to be free, but I'm being tethered down. So I feel like there's a grounding energy pulling me down. But that being said, I don't necessarily feel like it's all bad. I feel like this grounding energy is meant to show us that even a bird has to land sometimes. Even a bird that flies still has to land on the ground sometimes. Okay. So that makes sense. And sometimes we have to go from an expression of let's focus on this, if you want, if this helps. Instead of focusing on trying to be happy in the moment, and that's difficult for us, let's work on trying to just be okay in the moment. Let's work on trying to just be like, nonchalant. Let's work on, because being happy in the moment, that's great. But sometimes we have to come from a place, maybe it's difficult for us to be happy, and then we feel guilty that we're not happy in the moment. And then we go through a spiraling process where it's like, well, I'm not happy, which makes me unhappy, which makes me unhappy. And then it just keeps going, it keeps snowballing. Okay, so we need to focus more on allowing ourselves to feel a sense of, if we're not feeling it, we're not feeling it, and allowing ourselves to express it and be gentle in that process. And my wrist is starting to hurt. So far. Okay, perfect. Because it's not about being, to me, life isn't about being happy all the time. Life is about expressing all the time. Life is about emotion all the time. It's not about a blanket statement of I'm happy and they lived happily ever after kind of a thing. No, at least not the way I see it. Whew. Okay, the energy's starting to subside. And I'm starting to feel a little more grounded here. So let's move on to the next one. That's insane. Look at that. It's abundance in reverse, and then we have blossoming abundance in reverse too. Okay, so Denise, right? Pink Denise. Let yourself be okay in the moment, right? But don't feel bad if you don't feel okay. I'm saying that again because I feel like there's a tendency to be hard on ourselves. And there needs to be a gentleness instead. And the gentleness doesn't look, the gentleness is always gentle. It's never harsh. And we get there eventually. So when we're expressing ourselves, right, when we're talking to ourselves, when that little voice in our head, hear what it has to say, but guide it towards a more gentle perspective. And in time, that will become the new norm. At first, it feels foreign. At first, it feels forced and it feels weird. It feels like you're trying to brainwash yourself, or it feels like you're trying to do something. And that's the thing. So when we're upset about something, we shouldn't, I hate that expression, and I'm feeling this in my wrist. Like, I don't know if you have something going on with your wrist, Denise, but if not, there's a creative flow being blocked here too. Absolutely. And the manning up has been one of the single saddest things about masculine energy in this society we live in, because that expression just makes me so mad, because I don't even know what it means. I honestly, what, man up, repress? I don't know. What does that mean? Just clench really hard and just hope for the, yeah, I hate that expression. But I feel a sense of, okay, so that's what I'm feeling. And it's hard when we're feeling these kinds of feelings, right? When we're feeling a little bit lower, when we're feeling not quite up to our normal standards. The best way for us to move through this is to allow ourselves to feel and observe it, and to just be observers, to just allow ourselves to kind of go through that process. I'll draw some more cards here, but yeah, that's what I'm feeling for sure. We just need to express. We need to, if we're feeling sad, we're feeling sad. If we're feeling angry, don't hurt anybody with it. Don't hurt yourself with it, but allow yourself to feel angry. The same goes with happiness. I noticed for me personally, if I only wanted to feel, and I'm not saying you're doing this, but Yes. If you're going to say all you want to feel is happiness, or all you want to feel is the good times, then what we do is we numb ourselves out to our other emotions, and then our shadow selves kind of take control of every part of our lives. And Carl Jung talks about the shadow self becoming a huge part of our psyches if we don't address it and we don't look at it. There's parts of us that need to be healed. And to me, the way we do that is we allow ourselves to step into a place of, I'm just going to look, right? And whatever's been there, whatever is there, only wants to be observed and acknowledged, right? And that will take time. But all you have to do is give your presence to whatever's going on. And eventually things become a little bit easier. And we start untangling more and more of the yarn ball, so to speak. But I feel like you're on the right path. But you've got to quit. You've got to quit. In my opinion, we can't put a time frame on how we're feeling now and how we'll feel in the future. And we'll take this many days before we feel better. We have to allow ourselves to go through it, even if it's unpleasant and it's not a fun experience. It's not, but it's a part. It's a part of living. And that's going to be where eventually, when you pick up and you start doing art again, that's going to be where your expression will become stronger in your art. Your sense of self and style and the way you present your art will become better because of it. The artist is very sensitive to energy. They're very sensitive to subtle energy. And so, of course, you're going to feel this way. But it's kind of like a cocoon for metamorphosis, for you to turn into something better and for you to be able to express yourself in a new way. Does that make sense, Pink Denise? Yeah. And it starts out being hard at first. When I first started trying to be kind to myself, it did not feel right. It just didn't. But eventually it starts feeling more and more natural. Reparent yourself. I actually have a card that talks about, that shows the reparenting yourself. Allow yourself to be in those moments when you go back into, observe the memories, observe the sad times that happened. Take yourself back into those memories and imagine what you would do in that situation. Experience the hurt and the pain again that you experienced, but imagine how you would have handled seeing yourself small and sad, seeing yourself as a child and upset. Imagine how you as an adult now would handle that. And the answer is with gentleness. And eventually we do that enough times, the brain starts to kind of reprogram and we learn from that. I hope that helps you. Yeah, do you have a question? Do you have anything moving forward here? Well, here's the thing with doing a spread for yourself, right? Are you wanting me to do the spread for you, or are you wanting to do the spread for yourself? Some people can read themselves really well. Other people have a difficult time. It's kind of like I do psychic work, but even I can't read my own mind sometimes. You know what I mean? I'm too close to the situation. If you feel like you can, if you feel like you're in a place where you can handle that, I'd say go for it. However, if you feel like you would see issues coming up and you would be very critical, I would say hold off on that and wait until you're a little bit where you feel a little bit stronger to handle that. Yeah, the bias will block it a lot of the time. I got a book that talks about how one of the things we have to learn is how to get rid of our bias, right? So like I said, if you're feeling strong enough to do it, I'd say go for it. But if you're not, it makes it kind of difficult. The main thing I'm seeing here, honestly, right? And it's kind of a shadow spread because we're looking at the situation. I drew these cards, and you know what these cards are. But look at these cards together, okay? The Devil card, the Four of Swords, and the Three of Swords, okay? And you can interpret those however you want, but this is the energy that I picked up when you said a general reading. What you're going through now, those are the cards that I got for you. And that could be related to the shadow self, absolutely, because these cards are dealing with a lot of taking it slow, mental resting, and there's heartbreak here. And I feel like we're breaking our own heart. I feel like we're putting ourselves in a position where we're not allowing ourselves to be set free to some extent. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah, and they are. The Three of Swords is heartbreak, the Four of Swords is resting, right? And the Devil is kind of the being blind to our own vices sometimes, or rushing into a situation. I would say, I feel like you're on the path to healing, though. I don't get a sense of you not acknowledging the heartbreak, or you not acknowledging that you need to heal. I get a sense that you have a good head on your shoulders that way. I don't feel like you're being stubborn and saying, no, that's not me. I feel like you just, and again, it's a gentle voice of gentleness. We can't be crude and abrupt with a gentle voice. It doesn't work that way. It has to be gentle, followed with gentle action, followed with a gentle voice. And we have to allow ourselves to feel that gentle kind of energy throughout the day. Kind of like if Mr. Rogers was narrating your life. I mean, you could do whatever you wanted with that, but and that takes energy. A lot of it is it taking energy from you. A lot of it is it taking that. When you're accepting things you haven't accepted before, the brain has to readjust, things have to change, and it takes energy from you. So that could be another reason why you're getting the Four of Swords. Cover. That could be another reason why you're getting the Four of Swords. Exactly. It kind of goes hand in hand. Things happen when they're supposed to happen, and we're observers, or we should be. But we're also human, and we have egos, and we get in the way of the observation, right? It's like when the cameraman also wants to be an actor. Sometimes it doesn't work the best. Sometimes you're one or you're the other, but a lot of times it's best to kind of take a step back from the play, take a step back from the story, see what the actors are doing, see what the characters are up to, but realize that a lot of this, at least in my opinion, a lot of this is kind of like a grand play. It's a grand story, and we're just part of it. Hopefully that helps you, and hopefully this reading is what you needed to hear. So, and thank you again for the donation. I appreciate that. Or I don't know what to call them. Just thank you so much for I keep flipping up here. Okay. Just thank you. I really appreciate you guys coming in here and helping out with that, because it helps support the channel, and I really need that. So thank you guys so much. You're very welcome, Denise. So do you have any questions? Any other questions? Well, I appreciate it. Okay. Well, thank you very much. And if you're not subscribed already, you can subscribe, and you can get more of me twice a week. It's the best thing you can do for yourself. A double dose of me. Yep. Things get cheesy sometimes, guys. That's how it goes. Awesome. Sweet. New subscribers. That's what it's all about. That and helping people. Of course, helping people. I do enjoy the subscribers. Thank you so much, Denise. Okay, so Brooklyn Ginger, right? You're up next. Wish you guys had smell-o-vision right now because I think there's muffins being baked. Something's going on. Something's going on behind me. Not in this room, in the other part of the house, but still, it smells good. Yes, smell-o-vision. There would be some shows you would not want to watch in smell-o-vision, though. The Walking Dead would be not nearly as fun. Just going to put that one out there. Okay. So, Brooklyn Ginger, tell me what you're thinking. What are you wanting to do? I'm getting them fresh baked, Denise. We were going to do cookies too, but just general impressions. Okay. It's probably not very professional, but would you guys mind if I took I just need to use the bathroom for a second. And I will literally be right back. So I'll keep everything running and I'm coming right back. So just give me a second here. Double dose of cheesy is always better. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's your vitamin cheese. Vitamin cheese for the day. Okay, I will be right back. Okay. Okay. All right. So, Brooklyn, general impressions, kind of seeing what we're feeling here. All right. Is it okay if I look in the energy field, so to speak? I do that, I kind of send energy, and then I can sort of feel around a little bit more, just so I can get a more of an impression. If not, though, sure, okay. Let's see what we can get here. Okay. Okay, I'll show you these cards here in just a second. Let's see. Okay, so we have the Queen. Come on, focus. There we go. We have the Queen of Cups. Okay. Then we have the Knight of Wands. And then we have the Thinking Woman. I know that sounded like that was the end of that, but I don't know why I did that. Then we have the door to personal healing and happiness. And then we have the Divine Masculine in reverse. So to me, we're looking at, I see the Queen and the Knight. Okay. I see the Queen of Cups. Okay. And I see the Knight of Wands. So these two cards right here are definitely focusing on kind of opposing elements. So I like to do this. So I'm taking a class now where you take energy, you know, it's Qigong and stuff. I'm learning a little bit more about that. There's something called inner alchemy. So when you take fire and water, right, they're diametrically opposed. They're opposing each other. They push against each other. One puts the other one out. The other kind of dries the one up, so to speak, right? So when both of these come together in equal measure, though, we get steam. So what I would see this as is, again, this feels like a cleansing sort of energy. And you have Pisces Sun and Leo Moon, absolutely, for these two. And it feels like, to me, this is a spring cleaning kind of energy emotionally, too. So Brooklyn Ginger, have you been doing stuff where we're kind of, Leo rising, okay. Have you been getting rid of emotions that no longer spark joy? Let me put it that way. Oh, good. Okay, so you get it. You get what I'm talking about here, because we're looking at creating a sense of, like, this is steam. You probably know more than I do about that, if you understand. Qigong I've been doing for a while. Anyway, this is your reading. Let me move into that. Right, shedding your old life. Absolutely. I get these two, though, right here. So we get the Thinking Woman and the door to personal happiness. Okay. So these two right here, the Thinking Woman and the door to personal happiness, this is something where we're focusing on, well, I can read this a couple ways. One of them is thinking our way to happiness. That can be something I can read into. But the other one is kind of thinking about happiness or thinking about having something in our lives. But I feel like it's just that. I feel like it's thinking. I feel like we haven't yet done the action. The reason I say that is we have the Divine Masculine in reverse. The masculine goes after it, right? So the masculine is the sword. The masculine can cut, but it can also be used as a tool. The feminine is a cup. It can hold and it can nourish, depending on what it's holding, or it can poison, depending on what it's holding. Each of these has a use. When I see this, though, I feel like we're not doing affirmative steps or action-oriented steps. Does that, right, yin-yang, absolutely. But does that make sense to you, Brooklyn? Yeah. Yes-ish. Okay. So we'll draw some more cards here. But this is what I'm getting here. But I feel like... Give me a second here. Let me see if I can connect. So have you been doing something... I feel like I'm learning a new skill, and I feel like this is something that maybe I picked up and I'm sort of a natural at it, but I feel like I'm learning a new skill. Is this something you've been doing lately? Something that, let's say you sort of picked it up, but it kind of picked up you too? Something you sort of just fell into? Okay. Because I'm feeling a flow with this, and I'm seeing sword fighting. I'm not sure that's exactly what it is, but I'm seeing finishing MFA thesis. What's MFA? I'm just curious. Because to me, I could read that as, something swear word something, or I could read that as, Master of Fine Arts. Okay, see, I'm dumb sometimes, guys. I don't get it. Master of Fine Arts thesis. Is there anything to do with, do you do anything with fencing or learning? Because the sword seemed prominent and I felt like I was skilled, but I don't know exactly what it means. Or I'm defending myself with the sword. It was something I saw. Like two swords coming together and they're like, the energy's like right there. And if that doesn't make sense to you, that's fine. We'll move on to something else. But that was something I got. Defense, lots of defense last 6 years. Would a K or C name mean anything to you? Caleb or Ken or Kendra, or I feel like I'm getting a name and it's like a C or a K name, and I don't know if it relates to you. Again, I'm just throwing stuff out. If it sticks, it sticks. If not, I will move on. No, okay. Maybe it'll come to you later, and if not, that's okay. Throwing stuff out. I'm learning too, so we'll go from there. Let's draw some more. Yeah, you never know. Absolutely. Being open to information is great, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the openness. So let's look at another card here. So we have this card. This is the second chakra, Archangel Ariel. Okay. So this card is all about, well, we have the first chakra, the second, you know all this, I'm sure. But this card is about expression. And it could be, it could be expressing yourself through passionate means, right? It could be arts, like you're talking about. It could be movement. Yeah, chakras. Yep. But this card here, so is this something you've been focusing on a lot more? Maybe you're more physically active and you're focusing more on developing. Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So this card coming up is showing that there's something here for creative. Without this, there's nothing to kind of move the fire along, at least in my opinion, right? So this, I'm going to draw another card here. Let's do this one. There's something here where we're focusing much more. So this is the connection card right here. So I'll hold that up again. And the only one that's in reverse is the divine masculine. So good, okay. Because that's something I'm seeing. A lot of the cards, well, not a lot, but I feel like there's a sense of movement. And I felt, like I said, I felt like I was fighting with the sword, right? And to me, I was defending myself. I was fighting, but I'm in this kind of dance. I'm in this flow. So I feel like you're in a flow, or you're getting ready to be in a flow, or there's a connection here with the self that we haven't had for a while. I feel like the fire has been lit, but now I feel like I'm on fire in a way that's more positive. I feel like I'm moving around, I'm getting more things done. When I see the connection card here, though, and then I focus on the divine masculine being in reverse, to me, that's definitely focused more on there's something happening where we're not taking more affirmative steps. I feel like we're doing something, but it feels like there's an underlying current in our life where we're maybe not expressing ourselves how we would want to. Or maybe there's a situation where we don't feel like we belong in that situation, or we feel less than. To me, that's kind of the impression I'm getting. And where I saw you defending yourself with the sword. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. It's like slow going. Okay. Let me see what else I can get here. Right. Well, like this one, right? The thinking woman. Absolutely. Too much thinking, not enough writing. And that's again why we get the divine masculine in reverse. It's you're gathering the information, but you're not necessarily doing anything with it in a way that would, it's like you're how would I put it? You're acquiring something but not getting rid of other things, or you're not putting yourself out there enough in that sense. I can't think of how else to word that, but this is definitely where the personal happiness would come in, is when you feel like you have the inspiration or the desire to write, to have that thesis, to have that kind of energy to work on something like that. Maybe you're wanting to find that flow again, right? Because where I see this is the passion card. It's not in reverse though, but it's the passion card. And the passion is watery. It's about flow. It's about letting yourself be in the flow state. And maybe that's the only time you want to do writing is when you're in the flow, because to you that makes sense. And maybe those moments have been less and less. Well, yeah, survival and health. Without those, doesn't matter, right? You're very welcome, Brooklyn. Very, very welcome. And thank you so much for helping out the channel. You have... Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That's something I try to be more... And thank you so much too, Brooklyn. Thank you. The full or the new moons? Yeah, I mean, it depends. it's like sometimes I'll use the energy for something. I'm learning to go more into that side of things. I'm more of a, how would you put it? I'm more of an intuitive when it comes to that. Meaning that I haven't done a lot of it, but when I have done spell work or when I've done rituals, they seem to work really well. I guess I just need to learn more about it. And that's a good way to do it. Full moons clean your entire house. That should be something I do. I'm lucky if a full moon comes up and I leave my room. No, I'm just kidding. But full moons are amazing for spell work and for rituals. Right, for setting intentions and manifesting. I need to get more into it. I need to read up on it more, get into the flow more with that, because that's something I just don't know a lot about, but I'm learning. I'm trying to learn. But there's so much. I mean, you could spend a lifetime in just one spiritual discipline, and I don't think you'd even come close to mastering it. I mean, that's not what it's about anyway, but thank you again, Brooklyn. Have an awesome rest of your evening. But yeah, I'm all for Denise and Denise. Take care, Brooklyn, and hopefully I can see you on my next live at Wednesday, this next Wednesday at 5. Hi, Laura. I just say it because that's how your name's written. So, how are you doing? So Denise, Denise Exton, you're interested in a class, and then Liz was interested in a class. The other Denise, would you be interested in a class on psychic ability, learning how to tap in? Or anyone else that would be interested? I'm just curious. Shuffle these. Awesome. Okay. That'll be fun in Zoom when I split you guys up in rooms and I say, Denise, you're with Denise. Okay. I'm starting to see that you guys you're serious about wanting to do a class. So I definitely think we could arrange something. So we would focus first on developing as a psychic. Okay. What that means. Or rather, I mean, depending on how far back we go, we could really start from ground zero and work our way up. Or I can work with what you guys already have and we can build off of it. Again, depending on what you guys would want to do. But I've got some ideas. I try not to teach with any intention of a bias or anything where you guys couldn't learn from another teacher, right? I don't want me to be the only person that you guys would listen to. And I don't want to come up with a bunch of convoluted jargon and stuff. I want you guys to learn from me and then be able to go forward with whatever you've learned and apply it however you can without feeling like limited, I guess. I don't want you guys to feel limited. Hey, Kevin, good evening to you. see, I shuffled. Thank you, Pink Denise. Yeah, I want to learn in a way where each of the students gets to learn. I want to focus on the weaknesses. I want to build them up. And then I want to focus on the strengths and build them up. Or vice versa, depending on how I feel the student would learn. But I don't think any teaching style is immune to not being adaptable. I think when you're adaptable, then the students can actually learn a lot more than if you're rigid in your teaching style, if that makes sense. Okay. A niche schnoz. Okay. So, any questions? We can talk about anything going on. Okay, well, Denise, Liz, and I need at least one more person. If I can get 4 people, then I can split you guys up into rooms and we can do readings. And we can grow from a class perspective and focus on just kind of building up the intention and building up a sense of community and trust in the class. So I'd be fine with 4 people. We can work on some different styles, some different exercises. And it would probably be a Zoom class more than anything. I think that's what we would do. Okay. Let me see something here. All right. So now we're open for questions. It's not too hard to use either. That's something I would hope you download it for the class, because otherwise you're not going to be there. It would be kind of empty. But it's pretty easy to use. It's pretty straightforward. And I'd want to build up your confidence in your abilities in using these, because especially for artistic pursuits, honestly, I feel like it helps. It helps you understand, I guess, everything more. It helps you understand that there's a connection to everything. There's a quantum reality behind everything. Okay. I can draw one card for you, Laura, and we can go from there. If you want to do a little bit more of a personal reading, you can either do the super chat or you can do PayPal. But let's draw the one card for you, and let's use the energy tarot for looking at that. But yeah, the psychic part's important, Denise, because a lot of time you're going between the two states. So here's, and you're very welcome, Laura. So here's normal energy, right? This is our waking consciousness. Psychic energy is right here, and then medium energy is right here. Okay, I'm just giving you a diagram. When we're connecting mediumistically, we hover sort of in between the two levels, right? We're getting message from spirit, we go back into the psychic, and then we come back up into spirit, and then we go into that. So you're not always going to be able to establish a mediumistic connection. That's why the psychic part's important too, because then we understand the story from a perspective that's not just from spirit, but from the person's energy field. Does that make sense, Denise? Denise Exton? Okay, so let me do this part here. Why is your sleep so bad? I'm going to go out on a limb here and say there could be a Kundalini activation going on. We can talk about that. There could also be something to do with, well, depending on how much caffeine we have too in a day, can actually really, really harm our sleep. But anyway, let me do this here. Let me look. I've noticed for myself, more spiritually in the I want to say in the future, but that doesn't make any sense. I've noticed for myself in the past, I used to be able to have tons and tons of coffee, and it wouldn't bother me. Now, if I have 1 cup of coffee a day, like at 7:30 in the morning, I'm usually good. If I have a second cup, even if I woke up super early, if I have that second cup, I will not sleep that well that night usually. Like it could be 4 o'clock in the morning before I get to sleep, and it's usually that extra caffeine. Anyway, it's me going on a rant. That card comes up more than anything. Okay, so we have this card here. This is Door to Personal Healing and Happiness in reverse. So to me, I feel like there could be something possibly on your conscience, maybe why you couldn't sleep. Racing thoughts, possibly having something to do with Do you work or do you do any work for a charity or anything, Laura? You don't have to, but for some reason I'm getting a vibe of charity, or I'm getting a vibe of donations or donors or something like that. And now my back is starting to feel warm in the center part of my back. Yeah, this feels like it could be a Kundalini awakening energy coming up. So, okay, you work for free right now. Okay, so that makes sense. That's what I'm feeling. Okay, so I'm getting a sense of energy coming up my back. This could cause insomnia. This could cause night sweats. This could cause muscle pain in the back or muscle tearing in the back, depending on how severe the awakening is. Generally, there's an event that triggers an awakening. So, and generally, when there's an awakening, there's not a sleepening. It's a bad joke, I know, but it usually means there's insomnia. Has this been going on for a while, or has it been fairly recent, Laura? I'm wanting to crawl out of my skin. Okay, a while. So I'm feeling a sense of I'm wanting to crawl out of my skin, and my jaw's feeling tight. I'm feeling, jaw's feeling tight. The muscles are a little, I still feel loose though. That's the interesting part. Do you have any back pain, Laura, that you've been experiencing? Lower back pain or anything to do with the spine? Lower back depth. Okay. So it can feel like it's inflamed. So what's happening is, oh, my incense is out. Hold on. I have to have good smells. I'm a Taurus after all. So give me 1 second here. Oh, been using these ones. Here we go. These are let's see. Nope, it's this kit. These are San Pedro. These are really good. Well, then you get it, Pink Denise. You get how important it is to be very lush with everything, to the point of detriment almost. Luxurious baths. And then after I take a bath, I have to get clean, and so I take another bath. It's always how it is. Okay. Hold on. Ah, yes. The best smell, but my sinuses are messed up. So, so that one is, San Pedro by HEM. I personally like it. It's been really good. I personally like it. Okay, so Laura, I was going to draw you a diagram of what's happening to you, possibly. Yes, MM. I think you were here last time. I'm doing this. Yeah, hello. I'm doing this. I'm going to show a diagram of something. So, and I could be wrong with this. Shadow walkers. Hold that thought, Kevin, and we can go into that. So essentially, and for MM, yeah, I remember you donated last time too, and thank you again for that. You can ask your question here in a second. I'm showing through this right here. The visuals of the room or the okay, so there's something that happens when we connect and we have an awakening, right? A Kundalini awakening is a little bit different. Dark night of the soul is very different from what an awakening is in this sense. The Kundalini awakening is more of a physical sense. There's a rising up of energy. So I'll show you an illustration. It's going to be bad. Please do not expect high levels of anything from me when it comes to this. On my iPad, I feel like I'm pretty good, but there's line correction. On this, I'm not the best, so bear with me. So everyone knows we have the 7 energy centers in the body, right? So we have the root chakra. We have the sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and crown. All right? So we have essentially what they call the serpent, energy coiled at the bottom or the base of the spine. It's called a serpent because it takes the kind of shape of a serpent sleeping, right? So it's like coiled up. So this, if I can remember right, the snake is called Ida. It's either Ida or Pingala. The one that goes up is either Ida or Pingala. I can't remember exactly. But so we have the 7 chakras here. Okay, we have the 7 dots, right? So there's the root chakra right here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go like this. Denise, you have to allow things to unfold naturally because they won't unfold any other way. Flowers do not bloom out of time. I mean, yes, you can be a gardener, you can manipulate them, but flowers in nature take their time to bloom. And even if another flower is blooming right next to that flower doesn't say, I'm not going to bloom because that flower is so beautiful. Instead, it says, I'm going to do it regardless because I have something to bring myself, right? Okay, so this energy right here, we've got, so it's kind of from the base of the spine, and then you see it intertwining through these. It's energy that's working its way up. And generally, when it starts working its way up, depending on the person, they can go through some tremendous, it can be lower back issues, sleepless nights, sweating, muscle tearing, a lot of energy that needs to be kind of put in place, and things will come up. Things will come up you have thought you dealt with, and they will come up, and there could be like hysterical crying. There can be crying. There can be a lot of emotions that come up. It's like Dark Night of the Soul 2.0. It can be very difficult for people. Sometimes people have these awakenings when they're younger. I think I did when I was younger. I had a lot of surgeries that I had to go through, and I think that kind of woke me up in that sense. And I was very sick as a child. But when you're older and you're going through this, and I say older because I mean older than how old I was like 3. So when you're older, I assume you're over the age of 3, Laura, that when you're going through this, it can be a little bit more intense. A lot of emotions come up, a lot of things come up, again, that we've thought we've dealt with. And it can be very difficult. Now, what generally happens is, so we have that energy, and then we have this one. Okay. So we have the other energy. It's basically coming down from the third eye and connecting all the way down to the root. And wouldn't you know it, it looks like DNA, a double helix. Okay. So that's kind of, in my opinion, the microcosm, the DNA that's in our body, is activated in the same way that this is. This is more of a macrocosmic expression of DNA. DNA is essentially, in my opinion, DNA is light. It's light that's been encoded. We learn from that light in different ways. But the way we deal with this energy is the same way I've been telling other people. We have to just observe it and deal with it. Eventually the pain gets lighter. We can go into something else there, but to me, it seems like it's definitely more associated with that kind of energy. So, Laura, does that make sense? Or does it at least help a little? Gloria, yeah. So we're going to do MM, and then we're going to do Kevin, and then we can do Gloria. So MM, what is your question? I'm going to do the one card thing again. I know you've donated before to the channel, and I appreciate it so much. But again, it's other people's time too. So MM, Kevin, Gloria. Yes, thank you for keeping tabs. How does S feel about our conversation? Okay, so I'll do one card on it. If you want more of a reading, you can donate again. But I feel like one card, even though you have donated before, I hope that's fair to you. Okay. So let me draw a card for you. Let's do an energy card here. Let's see what we can get. All right. Thank you for understanding. Some people buy something from you once and they think they own you. You're very welcome. You're very welcome, MM. Very, very welcome. Not saying you're that way, but there has been some people where, it just gets kind of strange. Okay. So I get Goddess of the Moon. This one's not in reverse. I'm saying that because I think I've drawn this twice in reverse, or I've drawn it at least once in reverse. But Goddess of the Moon. So this is subconscious energy. I feel like your conversation with S. Let's see. How does S feel about our relationship? Okay, so I feel like your conversation with S went pretty well, but I feel like most of it is more of a subconscious thing. Were you talking about, to me, this is much more of a spiritual card. Were you talking about connecting in a way? Sure, Gloria. Oh, thank you. I thought it was going to be something bad. Thank you so much, Gloria. I appreciate that. But so MM, when I see this card, we're focusing more on a relationship to me, where I feel like you're really having a deeper conversation with this person. It doesn't feel like it's just a light thing. This feels like it's much deeper and it's much more intentional. Is that correct? Oh, come on, guys. You're being too nice. Being too nice. I appreciate it, though. Thank you. Okay. So no. Yes, you can donate for a question, Asia. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Seriously, you're gonna make me start blushing here, but let's not do that. But I do appreciate the compliment. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. But yeah, NY Asia S. You can donate for a question. Hopefully, I didn't butcher your name. And if she donates, no, you're good. You're good. You are good, guys. Thank you, though. You guys are too sweet. Okay. I'm just going to keep shuffling the cards here, and we'll go from that. Once it starts, it won't stop. Okay. Thanks again, you guys. So, a question, and then we can go from there. Very sweet people. Very, very sweet. I live in Utah. Just from Utah here. Yeah, I go through phases of, well, nice, Gloria. I'm hope Texas is doing well after everything that happened. Awesome, thank you. Let me see. Give me just a second here and let me look. Yeah, I go through sprees of New York. Nice. And yeah, you guys were without power for 4 days. Jeez. Awesome. Okay. So I'll move on to all right, thank you. Okay, thank you, Gloria. No, nothing wrong with smirking. But I go through phases of being very inspired and coming on here, and then it's harder for me to do that, to keep it going, you know. Oh, okay. I'll have to keep that in mind when we do class times then, Denise, because I'd want to make sure you could come to the classes. Okay, so what is your question? NY Asia. Night Owl. I used to be a night owl, and then about the past year, I haven't been up at night nearly as much. Do I see a reconciliation with Virgo? Let's look. Let's see what we can find out here. You are very welcome. Thank you for donating. That means a lot, you guys. It helps me to keep going here. Okay. Being a night owl, yeah, I was since I was a kid too, and then I don't know, something just kind of shifted, right? You go from a nocturnal mindset to a what's it called, diurnal mindset, where you're more like up in the day. And for me, I just feel better when I wake up in the day. But there's nothing wrong with being a night owl, because when you're a night owl, I feel like you're more creative, right? Awesome. Awesome. I'm glad you like the energy. I try to keep, everyone that has found me and has been on this chat, people are just incredibly kind. Everyone here has been amazing. You'll be more productive in the day. Okay, anyway. Your question, NY, yes, NY. I'm just going to call you NY. Let's move on to your question. I keep reading the chat and I get distracted, so let's do this. Question time. Okay. Okay. No, you're good. You're good, Denise. You're good. That's not your fault. That's not your fault. That's me. That's me. I got the squirrel brain, or the brain of a squirrel. And it's right over there. No, I'm just kidding. I just get very distracted. Okay. Let's do 2 more shuffles here. Yeah, you guys have just been amazing. You guys never have to apologize for that. That's me. That's me getting distracted. You guys are good. You guys are always good. Okay. I've got 3 decks here that I'm shuffling, so it'll take me just a second to answer your question, because I like to use all 3 decks. See this one? Nope. There. You are so welcome. I'm Gloria, I'm a Taurus sun. And yeah, I'll just say Taurus sun for now. I'm a Taurus sun. What about you, Gloria? Yes, Taurus through and through, including the stubbornness. Okay, rising is Virgo, and moon is Aquarius. I'm literally, all I am, and I've looked up my natal chart. All I am is fire, or all I am is earth and air. That's it. I am a fart in the mud, basically. I am nothing. Like, I have 3 degrees in Pisces in one of my signs, and I have no fire. So it is an adventure being with me. I'm either very stubborn or, yeah, no wonder I get distracted. Oh, it's bad. I have every air sign and every earth sign. So Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, and Gemini, Libra, and don't tell me, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Yeah. Okay. Let's get this going. Okay. That's a lot of Libra. That is a lot of Libra. Okay, so NY, right? I've already got a Cancer in my life that is amazing. Let me go back and look at your question, though. Let me look up here. Let's see here. I have to go through the messages where we were talking about me blushing for like a really long time. Okay. A reconciliation with a Virgo. Oh yeah. Cancers are, I need that. I need some water to help me flow, right? Like I said, or otherwise. Yeah, cancer's good. Cancer's really good. It's helped bring emotional balance to my life. So you can imagine me just being Virgo and air signs, that emotions were very, very difficult for me, and they were, and they still are. But I literally thought for the longest time that emotions were a byproduct of a crazy person. And then I learned that there's immense power in them. And I'm trying to unlearn all that, I'll just say bullshit. I'm trying to unlearn all the bullshit that I learned growing up as a man in America. And it's a journey. Okay, so here's what I get for you, and why. So we have first chakra, Archangel Michael. Okay. Focus. There we go. Silver waterfall in reverse. And thank you. And then I have the magician in reverse. Okay. So I'm going to be completely honest with you, and why, right? So let's cut straight to the quick of the situation, right? So if you're coming to me and you're asking me about this person, I feel like they're closed off. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I do feel like there's a closed offness there. Otherwise, you could be talking to them about this situation. Okay. So here's what I feel with this person. I get the magician in reverse, right? The magician is in reverse. This to me is a manipulative person. I get the silver waterfall in reverse. Okay. I feel like this person has a lustful energy. I feel like they want you for the sex. Okay. If I'm being frank, but I do feel like if they can't get what they want, they will be gone. They're gone. They're just like, nope, I'm out the door. If I can't manipulate you to get you into doing what I want you to do, I'm not interested. Awesome. Okay. I mean, not awesome. Oh, that's not good. Okay. It's good I'm spot on. It's not awesome that that's happening. But I do know how guys operate that. I've never been that way personally, but they can be scum. And that's disgusting. So there you go. See, you said it too. You said it right when I said it. Disgusting. So yeah. I don't get a positive thing with this. Silver waterfall in reverse next to the magician is definitely like, you do what I want you to do, or else you get no communication from me, or you get like you're being punished for being yourself. It would be the only way I can say that. Right. Thank you, Gloria, for having that. So I'm wondering if everyone is still even here. Okay, so Kevin is gone. And I think I answered MM's question. So Gloria, you're next. Denise, did that answer your question for you? Oh no, Kevin's here. Okay, I looked at the participants. I did not see you, Kevin. Okay, so your question, Kevin, was on shadow walkers, right? Oh, did I say? Okay. Maybe I messed up somewhere. NY Asia. Yes, I meant, yeah, okay. I'm doing questions, Heather. Okay, NY. Do that. Be safe, okay? You are so welcome. You are so welcome. There is, Kevin. There's so many different okay, so my personal understanding is this. Spirits shadow walkers, whatever you'd want to call them, in those regards, I feel like depending on how we feel about them, that's going to depend on what they mean to us. So I'm gonna posit this out there for you. Okay. There's a lot of energy here. I can feel it, my heart fluttering here. So if we're talking about something spiritual, we have to talk about the other side of it. So spirit coming to us. So let's say a spirit comes to us and we feel very scared and we feel very frightened, right? Our natural response is to say we're scared and we're frightened of them. But what if we are feeling their energy? What if we are feeling the fear that they have? What if we are feeling the energy that they have? Therefore, they're not necessarily evil or bad, but maybe they don't know how to express themselves in a way other than that to convey that they are scared. No, you're good. You're good. I do both. I actually like that because it gives, if someone else is wondering something too. And again, these are my thoughts on it. But for me, the spirit, for instance, if you're out there and you're focusing more on, I feel fear, therefore the spirit is negative, we can then turn it around and say, I feel fear. I wasn't scared before, but now I'm scared. I wonder if this spirit is feeling fear. I wonder if I'm feeling that spirit's fear, translating it as my own, and then calling that spirit bad or evil. I think there are negative spirits, yes, but I don't think, and again, it maybe won't particularly address your question. Thank you, Denise. Okay, Denise, we will address that question. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so Gloria was keeping tabs. Oh, I wish I didn't have a squirrel brain. Denise, though, you are up right now. And Kevin, I hope that answers your question from, at least from my understanding. If we get a negative feeling, right, then I feel like we should move on. It's not meant for us. If we get a violent feeling or an angry feeling, again, move on. It's not for us. But I think a lot of with spiritual things, I think a lot of things aren't understood. And seeing a dark figure or a shadow walker, unless I'm completely missing the mark, I feel like it's just the way they present themselves. And there can be some fear with that, but they're not necessarily negative. Again, my 2 cents. Okay. Denise, really struggling with leaving my teaching career for a spiritual one when mediumship keeps calling me. Any clarity? Okay, so let's look at that. Okay. So Gloria, it's you, and then it's Heather. Okay. You're very welcome, Kevin. I hope I helped in some capacity. Again, it's how I personally feel about it. But things can change, and I want to be open to that change. I don't want to say, this is it exactly, and nothing will change. It's like, things change all the time. Innovators change things all the time. I think spirit's the same way. I don't want to be stuck in believing something and have a bias towards something when something else so much better could be out there, and I'm too stubborn to see it. And that's coming from a Taurus. So if I can learn to not be as stubborn, hopefully everyone can. I will. Okay. Let me see what I get for you, Denise. The Denise Exton. Okay. Alrighty. I'm going to be focusing a little more probably on energy cards for you, Denise, just because I feel like the question is more about energy than anything. You know what you want to do already, but I feel like giving up your position in a lucrative, right? And yes, Kevin, but giving up your position in a lucrative job into one that would be more uncertain, sort of like it's like a freelancer spiritual job. makes it a little more difficult. So I will give you advice, and you're free to do with it what you will, or rather the cards will give you advice. But, oh yeah, thank you. A beautiful Cancer just brought me some water. Oh man. All right, let's get this in a jar. I don't know why, but we've got to drink it out of glass. There we go. Oh, that, you know. Oh, man. I'll draw a card for you, Denise. But before you're considering leaving, there you go. Yeah, you said you get thirsty. So here we go. Here we go. I'm going to drink this whole thing. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I will eventually, but. Oh, geez. Okay. So first thing before we, in my, can I tell you what I think personally, and then we can look at some cards, Denise? Okay. So my personal thoughts and feelings on this are, hold on. Drank the water a little too fast. I had to burp. Okay, my personal feelings on this are, you're still learning. We're all still learning, right? So if we're focused on learning, you already have a job as a teacher. You're hopefully inspiring kids. You're hopefully inspiring, as a teacher. I feel like until you've learned the part of mediumship, or until you've learned more spiritual way of working with spirits, with guides, that personally, that would be the way I would go. I would slowly ease my way more into the spiritual world, have it be something where I'm putting it out there. I'm saying I'm Denise Exum, and I'm making a pledge to put my whole heart into this and try. Because the teaching for you is important. I do see that is an important thing, but also for you to want to do the mediumship, we have to acquire the skills first to do the mediumship. Otherwise, you would give up something you already have for something you're not yet sure where you stand. Does that make sense? And I'll draw a card on it too. I'm just saying, So let's draw a card. Okay. So let's draw a card on this. I know it's tempting, Denise. I know it's tempting to get started because that's how I was. You want to do something. You really, really want to do something. And then you get yourself out there and you're like, what do I do? We need to work on developing a structure on something that works for you. Anyway, let's look at the cards. All right. Man, that card, it just keeps popping up. It just keeps popping up. I mean, it's unbelievable. If you guys can guess from the Energy Oracle card which card this is, you don't even have to guess. It's popped. Anyway, Goddess of the Moon again. Okay, Goddess of the Moon in reverse. Okay, so Denise, you know what I'm going to say. It's literally the same thing I was saying before this card popped out. We need to work on the gifts we already have. We need to establish those, and then we can slowly venture into new areas where we don't necessarily have the expertise, but we need to learn what structure looks like. So when I go out there and I'm doing mediumship or I'm doing psychic, right, you're ready for a new beginning in mediumship, but do you understand the structure of connection, of how to give a message, what people are looking for in a mediumship reading, how to access spirit when you're ready? I understand you're wanting to start something new, But the thing you already have is something that we should work with until we're ready to transition into something more spiritual, right? To me, that's this card. Goddess of the Moon is the subconscious. It's the psychic ability. It's the part of the self that needs to come through. But I understand the rush. I understand wanting to do something. And you can. You can still, there's... So when we work on a structure, right? And before you even take the class, okay, let me do this for you, okay? You don't even have to take the class. When you take the class, you learn with me, you learn exercises, all that good stuff. But I'm going to give you information now so that you don't have to pay for a class, because that's not what I'm about. If I can help you, money's great. If I can help you guys, there's something a little bit more powerful than money, right? So again, I have the paper. You can look at this as a possible method. Just got to remember how it went. So we have... So sitting in the power. Hi, Rosemary. How are you doing? Okay, so this is it right here. Okay, everyone watching. So it says contact, evidence, reason, tying it together. Okay, Denise, sleep well. Pink Denise, sleep well, and I'll see you next time I go live, hopefully. Awesome. Take care, okay? And get some rest. So that's the structure of mediumship. That's one of the structures. I shouldn't say that is the definitive structure. There's another medium, Andy Bing, who doesn't use the CERT method. But CERT, okay, CERT, right? CERT, contact, evidence, reason, tying it together. That's what we should be focusing on when we're structuring a contact message. Why is the spirit contacting you? What evidence can the spirit bring through? Evidence is anything that proves life after death. Okay. Evidence is personality. What was the spirit like? Evidence is a memory that the spirit shared with the person that you're sitting with. Okay. And there's other forms of evidence too. Those are two right off the top of my head. The reason the spirit's coming through. Is it to say, I love you? Is it to have a positive message? More than likely, yes. Spirits usually contact for a positive reason. That's how it works. Mediumship works on a love level. So generally the information coming through is positive. And it's something that builds people up. Okay. And then tying it together is the last part of it. Putting it all together and giving a person a sense of like, wow, I got a message from my loved one that passed on, and now there's life after death. You've proven, not you, the medium, but spirit has proven that there's life after death. All right. So that's sort of where I'm at on that. So, and you can take that, Denise, sit in the power, feel spirit's energy, and go from there. Ask spirit to come close. Allow yourself to be relaxed and in a quiet environment where you won't be disturbed. Ask spirit to come close. When you start feeling their energy, ask them to take a step back. Okay. And then when you feel a lack of their energy, ask them to come forward again. Ask them to step back. Get used to feeling the energy. And then you can see what your energy feels like by itself. And then you can see what your energy feels like when it's linked with spirit. Okay. So I understand wanting to do this, and I understand wanting to kind of jump into something else because it's more exciting. But, I feel like you have a gift. And I feel like the teaching eventually can go into the mediumship too. And you can teach mediumship and you can do all that in the future. That's something you can do because you already have a basis of being a teacher. Right, sitting in the power, exactly. Sitting in the power is just that. We're allowing ourselves to blend with spirit. And when we're blending with spirit, okay, yeah, when we're blending with spirit. So, Denise, does that help answer your question? I hope it does, because that's, I understand wanting to do it, but you can do both for a while and then eventually just do the spiritual, just do the mediumship would be my advice. But I understand wanting to start, but the best way we can do that is we have to kind of put our nose to the grindstone and we have to do the work. Sitting in the power. It doesn't have to be every day. And I'm not going to be that person that says, hey, and I hate this advice because it makes no sense. Let's take a person that's never meditated a day in their life, and then someone comes along and says, meditate for 30 minutes a day and you'll be fine. No, that does not work. Meditate for 2 or 3 minutes. Meditate for 30 seconds. Work your way up. If you start with a really high goal, 30 minutes a day of exercise or 30 minutes a day of meditation, you're not going to achieve it because you haven't done it before, or you could be tired, or your muscles are sore, or whatever it happens to be. Start with a small goal. Start with 30 seconds. Okay? Once you've gotten that down, go to maybe a minute. Okay, and sit in the power and allow yourself to be in that moment. But don't try and be gung-ho. Don't try to do so much. Take baby steps, but take a lot of baby steps. But again, we want to set small, achievable goals so that what we're wanting to get, we can get. When we set these really large goals, we're setting ourselves up for failure. So does that make sense, Denise? Okay. So now Gloria and then Heather. And then Libra, I think, was after that. Capricorn's next. Hopefully that answered your question, Denise. I hope we spent enough time on that and you feel okay with what we had. Because you donated and I really appreciate that. So I just wanted to let you know. And oh, okay. So that's the thing, is that we're not supposed to be controlling what we get from spirit. We're supposed to let it flow. And eventually we can start getting more and more information the way that we're wanting to get it. But spirit is like a creative person wanting to express itself, and it will do so in whatever way it can and whatever way it's capable. Therefore, you might ask for an address, you might ask for a name, but you might get something else instead. Eventually, we can guide spirit more towards that. But for now, whatever information we get, we flow with it and we give it. Again, that's in a client setting, right? Okay, so hold on here. Let me look at my PayPal. Let me look at this really quick. Okay. I saw that you said you donated, so I'm just looking to see. Okay. Okay, I have the question. All right. Okay, guys, hold on a second. Hold on. Let me move stuff over here. Okay. So I'm going to do Gloria B and then Araceli Little Minion. We'll do you right next, okay? I know you donated, but we'll do you right here in a second. Hopefully that's okay. And thank you, Gloria. Thank you for keeping track. No problem. Thank you for the donation. You guys have been kicking its booty today. Been hard kicking that booty. All right, let's do this. Capricorn's actions towards you, Gloria. Okay. Honestly, here's what I'm seeing. This is a good card. This says victory. But here's the part of the thing that I'm wondering. So Gloria, with this person, this Capricorn energy, when I see victory, I'm wondering if it's because you said the next move towards you. So can you describe the relationship between you and the Capricorn just a little bit, so there's some context for me to understand? So when I'm reading this card, I want to make sure I understand it in this sense, in the sense that I'm getting. Oh. Okay. So you're trying to think if this person would be coming back in your life in some way or not? I see victory, so to me it feels like there's going to be some sort of okay, well then, as long as there's like no yeah, I honestly see this as a good card. So to me, victory, I do feel like there will be a connection. I do feel like there will be a connection again, especially if up here, I don't do this for all cards, but the 2 and the 8 right here, right? To me, that symbolizes that goes into 10, which goes into 1, which is a new beginning. So I could see that as being something moving forward. So this is a very positive card. Honestly, I never draw this card, so good for you. I think it'll go well. So that's what I'm getting for the 1 card. So hopefully that helps you. I do feel like there will be a reconnection. And judging by victory being there, I don't feel like it'll be too long before there's some sort of reconnection, right? Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. And I'll be going into, you're very welcome. So Araceli, and I had your question right here. So, okay. Will you and Chris reconcile? So let's look. We'll do this until I'm about 3.5 hours into it. So right now it's another 25 minutes. So any questions you guys are having, if you want them sped up, you can donate. If not, I might not get to you tonight. Just because I have to set a limit somewhere, and 3.5 hours being on here is, I feel like that's a pretty good chunk of time. So I go live again on Sunday, same time, 5 o'clock. Okay, so let's do this here. Thank you, Heather. I do this because I like teaching too, if I can. And I'm wanting to do classes too. If I can get some of you guys into developing your psychic and intuitive abilities, that'd be awesome. Okay, so it's 8 o'clock, 8:06. Started at 5 p.m., so it's been about 3 hours and 6 minutes. Will you reconcile? Will you reconcile? Let's draw some cards. Okay, that's interesting. All right, Araceli, I've got your cards here. I'll show you here in just a second. I'm just shuffling these other ones here. Nope. Okay. Okay, so here's what I'm getting. Araceli. Okay. Here's what I'm getting. I get the thinking man in reverse. Okay. This is a man who I feel like is avoiding the issue. Okay. I feel like they're not really talking to you, or if they are, it's very muted kind of talking. I feel like this person is more withdrawn. Thinking man in reverse is someone who I feel like it's someone who could run from their problems. Maybe they drink or maybe they do something else. I feel like they're distracting themselves. Thank you very much, Lady Libra. I love being here if I can be here, you know? And so, yeah. For you, Araceli, that's what I'm getting. Thinking man in reverse. So someone who's avoiding their thoughts. I feel like avoiding their feelings as well. I feel like what you're wanting from him is you're wanting him to take action. And then there's a sense of sexual freedom or a sense of more intimacy with this person. But what I'm feeling is a sense of hesitation on his part. Right? So tell me what you think of this so far. Thank you again, Gloria. Appreciate the reminders. It really does help me. Should probably write it down, but yeah, that works. That actually helps quite a bit. To have it right there. Okay, yeah, that's kind of the energy I'm getting. So that's what we would call stonewalling, right? When a person is silent around you, is withholding attention or affection from you, and then expecting you to come forward first, and maybe even wanting you to issue an apology for things that aren't even your fault. There's like a sense of you need to humble yourself for them. You need to put yourself beneath them so they can raise themselves up. They can be an act of superiority. You know, it can be just that kind of thing. It's okay to apologize for something that's our fault. But again, people like this sometimes will want you to apologize for things that are their fault because they can't take responsibility. Not saying that's what he's doing, but it's a possibility. So I'm just putting it out there. Let's draw 2 true black tarot cards, though. Okay. And So I get the Eight of Coins in reverse, and then I get the Page of Wands in reverse. So this is a person that's very immature, possibly a fire sign. I'm not sure, but there is fire energy here. So there could be a fire sign individual, Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. Okay. And when I see the Eight of Coins in reverse and I see this, I get a sense of someone who I feel like when push comes to shove, they leave. Like their way of acting is to not be there. Their action is to not be there. Yeah, aren't they beautiful? This is the True Black Tarot. Absolutely gorgeous cards. If you can focus, there we go. But that's something. So this person, in my opinion, right? I want to help you guys if I can. I don't have all the answers. I'm not saying I do, but I would say I honestly wouldn't. Okay. I would feel like reconciling with this person, even if it was a possibility. And right now, the cards are saying no. But would you want that? Would you want this person in your life? Because it feels like a lot of stuff has to be about them. I feel like you're kind of left with the scraps in the relationship. This is the kind of person that I just feel like would be very controlling and very stifling. But, you know, when men or women ghost, sometimes it is the best thing that can happen, even though it may not necessarily feel that way at the time. Maybe that sounds too harsh. I don't want to be that way, but yeah, I don't sugarcoat my readings, guys. And sometimes, you know, might not be exactly what you want to hear. You're very welcome, Araceli. Thank you again for the donation. And subscribe if you're not already subscribed. That goes for everybody. You guys, please subscribe if you're not subscribed and like the video. Yeah, I'll be doing some grounding. I've also been taking Qigong and martial arts too, so I'm fairly grounded, but I'll definitely do some more grounding, Kiru, for sure. My girlfriend tells me all the time to ground myself and to cleanse my space, and I need to do it more. Okay. Heather, what was your question again, Heather? If you even asked, I can't remember. We'll do one card, and then if you want to go into more detail, you can book a reading through my site. Okay. I can do that, Kiru. I appreciate the concern, and I will keep it in mind. Good idea to do some grounding. Always a good idea to do a little bit of grounding. And if you do log off, well, regardless, you'll log off eventually. Thank you so much for coming in here and just being supportive and helping. Okay. Wondering what's going to happen now. Let's see. I'll do one card, okay? That may not be exactly what you need. My site can help you with the rest, but I will draw one card for you, Heather. You've been waiting for a while, but I will draw one card, so. So if you had one question, Heather, give me the one question you would want to ask. Should you go back to your boyfriend? Let's look. I'm trying to think what cards to use here. Probably the energy ones. Okay, this to me is interesting. So we get door to value in reverse. So to me, this person has said, I don't value your presence. In some way, shape, or form, that's what I'm feeling from this person. I get a sense of this person showing you in a few different ways, in more subtle ways, but also more, not subtle ways, that they don't value you as a person, right? And in the relationship, I feel like there was something that was built up, but maybe sometimes in these kinds of relationships, I feel like when push comes to shove, the other person kind of pushes the other person in the relationship out. Right. So the door to value in reverse to me is someone not valuing your presence. Someone saying, in a very emotionally closed off way, I don't care. So I would say leave it and allow yourself to heal. More than anything, even though it's painful and even though it's not fun to do, you would rather, in my opinion, I think most people would rather be actually alone, right, in a room by themselves, than being in a room with someone else and feeling lonely, right? That to me speaks more volume than anything else. And I feel like this person didn't value you. And I feel like if you went back to them, you would have even less value in their eyes than before. Okay, Heather, so hopefully that answers the question. And I'm sorry that you had to experience that. That's awful, but you know you're valuable. And that's what's important. There you go. Yep. So take this as a confirmation for you to heal, for you to, yeah. Absolutely. Are you doing anything with, do you do anything with plants or flowers or roses? I feel like I was tasting rose water. I don't know if that relates to you, but I felt like I was tasting something sweet like roses or something like, you're very welcome. Very, very welcome. Okay. Okay, so Lady Libra, do you want to ask your question? Go for it, ask your question. Oh, okay. You made rose water today, Denise. Another connection. Okay. I was tasting that rose water. Okay, so just your steps in life, right? Not love life. Steps in life. Okay. Let's see what I can get for you, Lady Libra. Well, one card may not do a whole lot, but we'll do our best. And now my shoulder is starting to hurt too. Okay. All right. You already know this, so I don't know if it'll be a ton of help, but you can always book a longer reading through my site, right? I get the Thinking Woman in reverse. This card has been popping up left and right, and I shuffle. I'm either a really bad shuffler or the universe just likes to draw the same cards. Thinking Woman in reverse. This is literally the Libra, not in reverse, but thinking yourself into life and then trying to think yourself out of it. I feel like there's less steps going in. I feel like there's less action taking steps, and there's more about acquiring knowledge, would be how I would view this. So, Lady Libra, you tell me, does that sound right so far? Okay. So I feel like there's an acquiring. Let's put it this way. Let's say try much so. It's so okay. How I would put it is like this. If you have, this is a weird metaphor, but it just came to my mind. Let's say that you have money coming in left and right. Let's say that you're making thousands and thousands, even hundreds of thousands a day. Awesome. Thank you, Heather. Sweet. I love that. Thank you for telling me too. But we might have time for one more question. Hearts love, Joe. Just give me a second here because I'm addressing Lady Libra. So, okay, so you have money, right? It's coming in left and right. It's thousands or it's even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay. That money is of no use if it's never spent on anything. Okay. That's sort of how we can think about life. If we're acquiring knowledge and we're acquiring a lot of it, that's great. But if we never put it into action, that knowledge never becomes experience for us to use. Does that make sense? It's kind of like, I feel like that would be the best way for me to describe what I just said. So does that make sense to you, Lady Libra? Okay, so you put it to use by challenging our sense of self a little bit each day. For instance, actually, you can use the bathroom again for a second. Everyone stay there. I'll come back. We'll address the questions. I won't just leave without addressing the questions, but just give me 1 second to go and I'll be back. Okay. Okay. I'm glad you enjoy listening to me read. Otherwise, that wouldn't be very fun. Okay, so how we put it to use is we challenge ourselves in small ways each day. Whatever it is we want to accomplish, we accomplish in a very small way. Like I was telling Denise, for instance, okay, we need to approach it in small steps instead of in huge quality steps. We approach it in small quantity steps. So, for instance, if you have a goal or something that you want to achieve, the only way I can describe this is like chunking it down. So let's say you want to work with psychic ability. I use that as an example because that's what helped me reach out and be able to do what I'm doing. So, for instance, instead of saying, I'm going to sit in the power, or I'm going to meditate 30 minutes, like I was telling Denise, try 30 seconds. If your issue is you're having trouble with people or you're scared of people, then work on slowly branching out, maybe making eye contact, or maybe doing small talk, like, how are you doing? Or something along those lines, reaching out in very small ways. The important thing is for us to do what it is we want to do, but to not do it in such a grand way that it scares us. That's setting us up for failure. So instead we reach for something smaller and then we go into it that way. Does that make sense? I mean, whatever it is we want to do, we can do it. We just need to express it in a smaller way so that we can gain confidence, so that then we can express it in a truer, bigger way than what we're expressing now. Let me know if that makes sense to you. Yes, Hearts Love Joe. Go ahead and post your question. I'll probably do your question, and then I think I will be done for the night. Been on here for a minute, so I hope that answered your question, Lady Libra. And if you want, we can do a bigger reading. We can do a longer reading for sure and address things a little bit more thoroughly. One card is like a general overview. Thank you, Gloria. Yes, list is now closed. But I do have one more question. They do. In fact, the only way we have big things is because small things were there first. That's always how it's been. It just appears much like the small things from our perspective seem so insignificant, and yet they're big steps. They're huge steps. But we tend to hold ourselves to an invisible standard of someone who has never been us. And we need to look at it as in every day, us trying something, us doing something, us living is an accomplishment. So, all right, post your question, Hearts Love Joe, and then I will answer one card. If you want a deeper reading, you can check my website and we can do it that way. Because I'm going to be gonzo here. You're very welcome. You wanted to ask if Jay still likes you and will reach out to you soon? Okay. Let's see. My pleasure, Lady Libra. Jay still likes me and will reach out to me soon. Okay. Awesome, Lady Libra. I will appreciate that. I'll be waiting for you to come in and we can address things more personally. Okay? Thanks again for stopping by, and I'm pretty sure you're already subscribed. But anyone who's not subscribed, please subscribe and like the video. I would appreciate it so much. Okay, so what I get here is I get Angel of Balance in reverse. When I get this card, hold on. Camera's having trouble focusing. Come on. Okay, so it's just Angel of Balance, okay? If I have to, I will. Okay. Angel of Balance in reverse. So to me, this feels like a teetering kind of sensation with this person. So I'm getting a sense of, you said you feel like they're afraid to say something. Are you the one that usually reaches out to this person? Has this happened before? Is this like an ongoing thing? They go no contact, you reach out? Or has this happened before or not? Is basically what I'm wondering. Oop. There went the point. There it is. No, it hasn't happened before. Okay. So when I see the Angel of Balance in reverse, though, it feels like the scales are tipped. I honestly feel like he's probably waiting for you to reach out rather than him. And it could be fear, but it also could be because this person doesn't know necessarily how to communicate. Because the Angel of Balance in reverse is someone who doesn't necessarily understand give and take, would be the way I would put it. Or the relationship was something that didn't understand give and take. Does that make sense? So honestly, personally, how I see this is it's going to be kind of a stalemate. I feel like you'd have to reach out rather than them, because I don't feel like they would reach out necessarily. The question was, do they still like you, or do they still, let me read it again. Jay still likes me and will reach out to me soon. So does he still like you? When I get the Angel of Balance like this, if you feel, the only thing I would say is if you feel safe with this person, if you feel like they wouldn't, if they go no contact over a simple argument or something happens, I would say they could ghost you and that would hurt you very badly, but it's up to you to make the decision. So if you want to reach out and you feel like this is a positive person and someone who would understand you when you're happy and also help you when you're sad, then I would say, yeah, go for it. But if not, if you feel like this person could possibly leave you high and dry when you need them most, then I would say no. Drawing one card only, this is what I'm getting. So some of it's advice, some of it's the card. But yeah, you can take from that what you will and be your own judge, you know. Okay. Well, that's an avenue you can pursue. If that's something you feel, then I would say you can pursue it. And depending on what you're looking for in a person or a partner, you know, that just depends. But I would say if you feel safe with this person, then try reaching out to them again. If you don't, or you feel hesitant, then I would say get out while you can. So that, again, that's up to you. But I do feel like you would probably more than likely have to make the first move. So hopefully that addresses the question. And you guys, I am going to check out for the night. And if you guys want a reading, you can book it through my website down below. And any tips or payments through PayPal or donations, they're greatly appreciated. Please like the video if you liked it, and you're very welcome. Hearts love. And subscribe if you guys aren't already subscribed. Oh, thank you, Lady Libra. I appreciate that. I'm hoping to be doing these for a while and be doing classes and online classes and starting stuff up. So probably need to start working on that. So you guys take care, and I will talk to you. I keep saying Sunday. This Sunday I'm teaching I'm going to be doing a class at about 6 or 7. I think it's 7. But I'm probably not going to be able to do the live. So it'll probably be Monday when I do the live instead of Sunday. So be looking out for me on Monday, and I will see you guys there, okay? And take care, and yeah, have an awesome night, guys.